Josh Allen's about to go nuclear, I believe. I believe Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills are hungry, on the hunt, and some fantasy football explosions are about to happen in the final 3 weeks of fantasy football as this team, as this man, tries to command his squad into a wild card spot. This will translate. Clearly, anybody that has Josh Allen's like, I'm starting him, Smitty. Honestly, people are asking me that question. People get really weird during fantasy football playoff time, especially the first round. I'll tell you, I can't tell you how many people come to me with a ridiculous question. Like, hey, I know it's crazy, but should I go outside the box right now and do something stupid that I wouldn't do all year long, but I'm, for whatever reason, feeling like I need to do something dumb and sit Josh Allen for said quarterback that's playing great lately but is not in his tier? That's for those of you asking that question. But what does Josh Allen going nuclear have to do with anything, Smitty? Dalton Kincaid, James Cook, Gabe Davis, and yeah, even Diggs, who no one's going to probably sit him. But again, that weird William is asking me weird questions right now. Josh Allen's going to blow up. News all over the place. Stroud, Achane, Tyreek Hill, Nico Collins. We're doing it all right now. The Fantasy Football Show begins now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show.
Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Live whenever news breaks. Live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern every single Monday through Friday. And I'm here to tell you that Josh Allen is about to go nuclear, and the trickle-down effect to all the fantasy football assets below him, they're going to benefit. Cook, James Cook, pretty damn good play going forward. Gabe Davis, Mr. Inconsistent, might be a damn good wide receiver 3 going forward. Diggs should return to form in at least, I would say, 2 or 3 out of the next 4 games in fantasy. You need him. This is week 15. We got 16 and 17. If you play week 18, I don't know what you're doing. I can't help you. You're going to come to me in week 18 and ask me a start bench question. I'm going to laugh. I'll answer it. I'll do the best I can. You know I'm here for you. But what in the hell am I supposed to do with a week 18 question? You know, no one can predict how long a player is going to play. In a lot of the scenarios, you got to get to your commissioner and have them change that. I really can't fully help you if you played a week 18. So we got 3 weeks left. The people that are serious about fantasy football and aren't playing in the Mickey Mouse League, you've got 3 weeks left. And Josh Allen is going to go nuclear. He's on the hunt. He's trying to bring his team into a wild card spot, cement it in, and he's trying to win the division, I might add. There's still hope for that. There are 4 games, 4 NFL regular season games left, 3 fantasy, 4 regular games left. And so, quite honestly, this is going to be a fun freaking 3 weeks of football, fun 4 weeks of football to watch. So, buckle up, Buttercups. You got Gabe Davis coming to you. Dalton Kincaid ain't done. You might want to sit Dalton Kincaid because he hasn't been doing a whole lot lately. But let me tell you something about little Dalton Kincaid, okay? Little Dalton Kincaid, 6'4", 240-pound monster as you see right in front of you. Dalton Kincaid was as solid as any tight end option in fantasy football through a string of games if you look at his game log right here. Dalton Kincaid was doing work. Dalton Kincaid has been getting target volume that very few tight ends see. Look, from week 7, after the week 6 game here against the Giants where he didn't play, right here, 8 targets, 7 targets, 11 targets, 6 targets, 7 targets, 6 targets, 8 targets. Dude's been doing work. 75 yards, 65 yards, 81 yards, touchdown. Dalton Kincaid is not somebody that should just go away. Not somebody you should sit on your bench. not somebody you should discard because he's had 3 mediocre games in a row. Rookies go up and down. Even rookies that haven't been used fully all year long still hit some sort of mental and physical, sometimes just mental, rookie wall. It's a long season. And he's going to be up and down. But guess what? This team is locked in. This team is ready to rumble. And Kincaid, Gabe Davis, Diggs, Josh Allen, James Cook, they're all going to benefit. They're all going to explode. I want to get to the news real quick. We talked about a lot of this stuff already. Let's just hit it at the top. We know that Nico Collins is out for week number 15. We knew this was likely going to be the case when we got final confirmation that CJ Stroud was not going to play week 15. CJ Stroud not going to play week 15, according to a Texans beat writer, Aaron Wilson. He's also doubtful on a lot of other reports, but consider him out. CJ Stroud's out. He hasn't practiced all week. He's still in the protocol. Nico Collins out. Why play Nico if Stroud isn't in there? This has huge wild card implications, though. To have the Houston Texans likely set up to lose. You never know. It's NFL football. Any team can win on any given Sunday. Mills could start. We don't know who the starter is as of this moment. Mills isn't a bad quarter. You never know. You never know. But these two sitting does not bode well for a Houston Texan win, which has so many implications we'll get to in a second. But Stroud not playing. If you've got a QB dilemma, drop it in the chat. We'll try and help you out. Let's get to Aaron Rodgers later before we ruffle a whole bunch of feathers from people that just can't stand Aaron Rodgers. Root against him. He's not coming back. You're ridiculous. This is stupid. Why are we talking about this? That's probably the dumbest comment I hear from people about the Aaron Rodgers situation. Why are we talking about a guy that's out for the year? I really can't accept that Aaron Rodgers potentially could return. Look, Aaron Rodgers ain't returning if they make the playoffs. He's returning if there's hope for the playoffs. That means that in the next 2 weeks, if the Jets win and they continue to win and other teams start losing in a way that gives them more than the 5% chance of making the playoffs, which the Jets currently have, you can't take that 5% away. That is what it is. While we're talking about Aaron Rodgers, I might as well bring it up. I can't help myself sometimes. I just go on a rant and I can't control it. Aaron Rodgers looks normal in practice. Aaron Rodgers looks solid in practice. He doesn't look like he's even injured. He's dropping back. He's not doing 11-on-11 drills, but he's certainly in the process of coming back. And for all those that think that he'll only come back if they make the playoffs, you're misguided. He'll only come back if they have a shot for the playoffs, because he's still going to play in the 2 final games that decide if they go to the playoffs. So everybody keeps saying that. They're not, Smitty, they can't make the playoffs. He's not coming back. Smitty, they're not making the playoffs, so he won't come back. You got to be out of your mind, Smitty. They're not going to make the playoffs. Why do you think he could come back? He's coming back for the fight. He's coming back to try and earn a playoff spot. And if they win their next 2 games and the right teams potentially lose, that 5% grows to 15 with 2 games left. That's what he wants to fight for. So Aaron Rodgers absolutely could come back if the Jets win the next 2 games and the Jets start looking at a more optimistic percentage of chance of grabbing a wild card spot. It's not that difficult, people. It's because you hate Aaron Rodgers that you can't sit here and listen to this. Aaron Rodgers might come back and play the final 2 weeks of the season. Just because you can't wrap your head around the idea that somebody's coming back from an Achilles tear, that's a quarterback, that's not a running back. You know my stance on running backs. You tear your Achilles as an RB, you're done. Maybe someday that changes, but right now, you're done. No running back in the history of the NFL has ever returned to top 10 running back form or become a top 10 running back after tearing their Achilles tendon. It is different when you're a quarterback. It's different when you are a basketball player like Kevin Durant. It's different. Explosion for those positions and players in sports are far different than an RB that has to hit a hole like a closing elevator door that's got knives on it that isn't going to open back up if you stick your hand through. Oh, excuse me, let me get through. This hole closes quick in the NFL. The explosion's gone, you're done. Not to mention what it's more about is your window of opportunity as an RB is a 3 to 4 year shelf life. You tear your Achilles, it takes 3 to 4 years for an RB to even come remotely close to his old explosive self. So if you tear your Achilles, that window of time of you playing is pretty much gone. Deonta Foreman's the only running back we've seen have serious success. Dudley, I know you're joking with me. I know you're joking. You can't possibly be serious. I hope you're not. Somebody want to tell him? Anyway, Aaron Rodgers, we'll see what's up. Appreciate my boy Aaron to the moon. I love Aaron Rodgers. He's one of my favorite players in the National Football League. I love every single thing about it. And you don't like it? That's tough. I love Aaron Rodgers. I love him as a person. I love what he stands for. I love how the man maneuvers and operates. I love everything about Aaron Rodgers, and I love that other people hate him. And I love that other people pick through his life.
Motion detected at the front door.
Ziggy, who's at the front door?
Okay.
Let's see who's here. Oh, it's little Smitty and Miss Smitty. Ziggy off. I love that people pick through his life and then complain about him being a drama queen. Oh, all he wants is to be, he's so dramatic, and all he wants is attention. Aaron Rodgers is an attention-seeking man. No, you're probing into his life, and maybe you aren't particularly probing, but you're watching people that do probe, and that's all you do. Then you complain. Aaron Rodgers is a man. Aaron Rodgers is the man. And I'm rooting for Aaron Rodgers coming back. And I want Garrett Wilson to get his paws on a few of Aaron Rodgers' spirals as he lasers them into the end zone for Garrett Wilson touchdowns, is all I can say about that. And on that note, why don't we?
You're right.
Garrett Wilson and the boys.
You're right.
Rodgers has new toys.
You're right.
The lights, the heat.
You're
A
right.
Jets fan complete.
You're right.
Aaron Rodgers to the moon. Isaiah Pacheco he had shoulder surgery, is out for week number 15. However, there's optimism. More than optimism, there's a report saying he'll be back week 16. We'll see. But Pacheco, shoulder surgery, out for week 15. And that means that McKinnon, in my opinion, although Clyde Edwards-Helaire could be relatively solid, in my opinion, Pacheco's not only the running back to start in this backfield, based on the trending of how this team operates with these RBs. It's very strange, unpredictably predictable. They'll use them at the end of the year, like Pacheco, like Damian Williams, and then the next year, which if we look at last year, Derek McKinnon had 9 touchdowns in 6 games. The final 6 games, he scored 9 touchdowns. And you think, oh, they're going to use him in week 1, right? No, they don't do that. Damian Williams, Super Bowl monster, playoff monster. Oh, they'll use him in week 1 that coming season. No. It's just the way they operate with these RBs. McKinnon, are they keeping it fresh? What in the hell is going on? But McKinnon will somehow, some way, I believe, find life. And I think you're going to probably see this man be an elite flex play potentially in this week and maybe going forward even when Pacheco returns. I just think they throw to him. Not to mention, think about it logically for 1 second. Have the Chiefs done anything consistent at all? Ziggy, volume 4. Have the Chiefs done anything consistent as of late? No. They have to do something different. How do they get Mahomes on track? have other pass catchers, making it easier for Kelsey and Rice to get open so that they're not the only two players catching footballs in this offense. They have to find a way to facilitate the football around the field. Mahomes is notorious for being one of the best quarterbacks to do a lot with a little and make so many different players catch passes in a game that he doesn't need an elite wide receiver one. Remember that narrative? Remember how everybody and their mother said KC doesn't need a wide receiver one. That's why Tony won't be good. Now, granted, Tony did crap the bed hardcore. In fact, he sharded in the bed hardcore. I admit that. But guess what? Everybody still said, and they were right to say it, that freaking Mahomes could take a very watered-down wide receiver room as long as he had Kelsey, and he could do wonders with it. Why is everybody completely abandoning Mahomes all of a sudden? You have people literally saying he's no longer a top 3 quarterback. Oh, he's good, but he's not clutch. This is one season, and the season isn't even over yet. Just like this man gets ridiculed, Josh Allen, and the season isn't even over yet. He's on a tear, Josh Allen. He's ready to rumble. He's ready to tear through the remaining 4 games to try and grab the wild card spot that's remaining, one of the 3, if not win the division from the tailing off Miami Dolphins. Mahomes is on a mission too, likely to win his division by a hair. There's still some threat that the Broncos sneak up and grab the spot, sure, but I believe that McKinnon's going to be a vital part of the process going forward of getting Mahomes back in everybody's good graces and everybody remembering that this is a man. This is a man that can take a little wide receiver room and make it great. Mahomes can make his wide receiver room great again. And everybody that's doubting him right now has a very short memory for all the things they said about him. Oh, he doesn't need a wide receiver one, over and over and over. You're taking one season of struggling and trying to paint a picture about a man that's about to make everybody regret that he is a top 3 quarterback. Allen and Mahomes are top 3, top 4 quarterbacks, locked and loaded. Doesn't matter what they've done. Doesn't matter what they did weeks 1 through 14. These are elite quarterbacks. All they need is a reset, a clean slate. And I believe both of them tear it up down the stretch. And if you traded for Mahomes on the cheap walking into the last couple of weeks and you're thinking I made a mistake, I don't think so. I think Mahomes steps up for you. I think Mahomes gets in playoff thinking mode, and I believe the Chiefs kind of figure it out. There's still a chance they struggle for another game or they're a little inconsistent going into the playoffs, but Mahomes is a baller. It reminds me of the Lakers back in the day. I say this all the time, when the Suns and Lakers and the Trailblazers and you had the Celtics, these rivalries were unmatched. Nothing like in today's NBA. Today's NBA is soft. Back then, when the Lakers had the worst season they possibly could have had, but they snuck into the playoffs, clean slate. Didn't matter what the Lakers did. They were the most dangerous team once they made the playoffs. I think the same thing about Patrick Mahomes. Doesn't matter. Josh Allen, doesn't matter. Wild card spot, doesn't matter. Championship capable, both of them, abso-freaking-lutely, 100%.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Okay, where were we at? Stroud, Pacheco out, McKinnon solid play, Aaron Rodgers. I think we're getting down to other pieces of news that are over on the left side of the screen here. Tyreek Hill, ankle questionable, hasn't practiced all week, but this is a man chasing a record. This is a man that acted like he was out for the season, and before he got to midfield, jumped up, ran, did sprints, and jumped around, sat out some games, did punt returns, made everybody confused, including me and his own coaching staff probably. My guess is he's just resting his absolute best. And there it is. So let's see here. Tyreek Hill, I do believe plays week number 15. But we'll have more information on that. Obviously, you got to check back. It's not something you can count on. But it's something that I believe will end up coming true. Tyreek Hill playing week number 15. Now, other guy right here. And Tyreek Hill did not practice on Friday. So, Tyreek Hill questionable. Tyreek Hill did not practice. These are the two reports that we have today. There's nothing else. There's no insinuations. There's no predicting. It's just literally he didn't practice. He's listed as questionable. He hasn't practiced all week, and everybody's trying to speculate. We're all guessing, and if I had to guess, the man chasing the record, the man that acts a little bit more injured than he is, no offense. I'm not saying he's a liar, but like, come on. That was an absolute like mockery of him running off the field after he acted like he couldn't get up and he was limping, needing help across the field. The guy couldn't even make it to midfield before he jumped up as high as I've ever jumped in my life and landed and planted and ran. That was what he did. Tyreek Hill was not as injured as he made it out to be because he was back returning punts literally plays later. So I think he probably ends up playing. Devon Achane, this is trending in the right direction despite what the haters are going to tell you. There's all kinds of stuff all over Twitter saying he got turf toe, and maybe he's got a small version of turf toe. Players have turf toe all the time. It just depends on the severity. And people saying, oh, he's done for the year. He got upgraded to limited practice today. Upgraded in practice. Questionable for week number 15, of course. But so is Tyreek Hill. I think this team really needs to try and hang on to this wild card or this division win, this division leading spot that will make it a lot easier. Here's this toe listed as questionable. Devon Achane has been listed as questionable for Sunday's game. And then an analysis portion says Achane was able to return to practice on Friday after he was sidelined for 2 previous days. His status will be 1 to monitor Sunday morning and confirm if he's playing or not. So hang tight on this one. Don't be an overreacting Roger. We certainly need to give you a backup plan, but for everybody saying he's out, they don't know what they're talking about. They're hating. They're haters. They just love hating on Achane. They're dreaming of a downfall for Achane. Just dreaming for it because they missed out on him, because they don't own him. Anybody that doesn't own Achane's dreaming that he fails so it makes themselves feel better about missing out on such a talent. How bad can you feel about your analysis if you can't admit that he's amazing? You're digging in so deep because you're so upset you missed it. I can't be a good analyst or analysis, or I can't be a good fantasy manager, or I can't be a good parent if I didn't see this guy coming. So please, make it go away. Make me right the first time when I didn't see him coming. I said he wouldn't be good, and he was. Make it true eventually so I don't feel so bad about myself, please.
Please report to your shuttle to Saturn. Your shuttle is leaving. Prepare for departure. Touchdown probability high.
Touchdown probability is always high. When Achane's on the field, double-digit touchdown probability just might be high. That's what I'm talking.
You've just been Smitty approved.
So hate all you want. Ramondre Stevenson ruled out week 15. This is no surprise. Nobody thought he even had a chance to even make a news report about being out for week number 15. Dalton Kincaid. Oh, Smitty, but Dalton Kincaid's injured. Dalton Kincaid's injured. He's off the injury report. Removed from the injury report. Dalton Kincaid, let's go.
You've just been Smitty approved.
All right, next piece of news. Let's see here. Next piece of news is Travis Etienne. Oh, no, not Travis Etienne. Removed from the injury report.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Travis Etienne, good to go. Get him in your lineup. Absolute potential top 5 to 8, running back play this week. Trevor Lawrence, oh no, removed from the injury report.
You've just been Smitty approved.
So Travis Etienne, Trevor Lawrence, Jaguars, good to go. That is your news for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And now time to get into the super chats that have been piling up. Alex with the first super of the evening. You know what that means. First super chat of the show gets a standing O. So I'm talking about Alex. Alex, Dallas D versus Buffalo or Saints D versus Giants. I'm going to probably say DeVito feels like a little bit more of a, I would say, let's see. Look, Dallas D is tough to sit. This goes almost, it feels a little bit against the grain of what I'm saying with Josh Allen. But the thing about it is Dallas causes turnovers. Dallas, they could pick off Josh Allen for a pick six, but Josh Allen could be absolutely electric the whole game, and it could be a tip pass. It could be, any given week weather related. When people start saying, "Well, what about this matchup?" Or maybe James Cook or other RB fumbles the football, and the Dallas D picks the football up and runs it back for a touchdown. Maybe it's special teams. There are a lot of reasons why Dallas D could do good and Josh Allen still explode. Run for 2 touchdowns. Maybe he throws an INT. Maybe he throws 2 INTs, throws for 2 touchdowns, runs for 2 touchdowns. Doesn't mean Josh Allen can't explode. So I'm going to say at the end of the day, I'm not sitting Dallas, not in crunch time, but I do understand the dilemma. We got Perps dropping a 20 watt on screen. Perps, appreciate you. Perps to the freaking moon. Perps, let's go.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Ziggy off.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Perps to the moon. Perps, appreciate you, my boy. Coming in strong. Perps says Smitty, McBride, or Waller. We're going to go with probably McBride. He's getting targets up the wazoo, bro. And it's just nonstop targets. Waller's first game back. Not even sure what the workload's going to look like. I'm not going in the direction of Waller when you have a McBride, a top 6 to 10, top 5 to 10 rather, tight end option. Even though it's the Niners, even though it's a tough matchup, you can see it right here. Niners and Cardinals right there. It's in Arizona. It's a tough matchup, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, but what can you envision? I can envision the Niners being up big. Can you? I can envision the Niners being up big and the Cardinals needing to throw their way back into the game. And who's going to benefit most from a very, very, very tough defense that's trying to lock down big plays, and you got this tight end moving across the middle as a safety net, maybe short yards, low yards per carry kind of game for him, but I think maybe high volume, a lot of targets, maybe low yardage or maybe high, I don't know, depends. I could see him getting 90 yards and 5-6 receptions on a very tough game where the Cardinals are just trying to play their way back in the best that they can. I think the Cardinals do lose this one. You never know. It's football. Perps dropping another $20 wad on the screen.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Perps, you maniac. Perps says, we're not playing Achane with this turf toe. We're not playing Achane with this turf toe. If Achane's playing, Perps, you're starting him. Plain and simple. And in turf toe, his toe is listed on the injury report as the problem, and everybody's painting a picture in social media and everywhere about how bad this turf toe is. I saw 2-3 different people talking about how it's taking him out for the season. They had no idea. They're just predicting that he has a severe case of turf toe and that he won't play. Then why was he upgraded in today's practice report as limited versus just sitting out? So, Perps, let me answer it this way, Perps. If he's playing, you're playing. He's a top 5 running back. He's a top 5 running back, Perps. Anytime he's on the field, he's a top 5 running back. We're doing it live. Appreciate you, Perps. Smitty, the GOAT, how can we become a Mars man? Stay tuned, James. We'll be doing more Mars and Moon men, Mars men, and Saturn men potentially in the offseason. So, James, if you want to become a Saturn man, that is going to be on the table. Crazy to consider Amari Cooper over Hill. I'm slight favorite. What does that mean? I'm slight favorite. Little Nicky, what in the hell are you talking about? This is what I was talking about earlier. Little Nicky, don't get too mad at me for going off on this right now, but this is what I'm talking about. You guys get so caught up in trying to think crazy and crafty and win your league by doing some sort of sidestep, sidearm maneuver. You see that Zamir White blew up and you didn't put him in. You see the Vegas freaking defense go nuts. And you see this Raider team score 60 plus points and you think, oh, let me get on that. Let me do something crazy. What are we talking about, Little Nicky? If Tyreek Hill's playing, you're going to go Amari Cooper? This is what I'm talking about. You can't think like this. You got to stick to your studs. Stop getting crafty in the first round of the playoffs. You wouldn't do this all year. All of a sudden, you're going to do it now. It's this simple, little Nicky. You're going to know if Hill's playing or not. So, yes, this is absolutely crazy. If Hill's playing, you're playing him. If he's not, then you're playing another option, sure. But, like, what in the hell are we talking about? Nicky, I appreciate you. But goodness gracious. Yusuf, appreciate you. Smitty, really need your help. Start one wide receiver and one flex, half PPR. D-Hop, Flowers, ETN, Moss, Zeke. ETN has a tough matchup, says Yusuf. I love ETN this week. So you're flexing one of these guys. I'm going to go ETN. He's off the injury report. I think Moss is a good play as well. They're all really good plays. And if I'm being honest with you, bro, you're going to miss this almost every single week. You know, I don't know if you had an opportunity to make trades or what, but not making trades and beefing up another spot is like, you know, a big misstep in a way, Yusuf, because, like, good God, man, like, this is talent overload. And maybe you just, people aren't trading in your league, and that makes sense. But I would go ETN. I would start ETN, but you're not wrong to go any one of those options. And if the chat disagrees with that and they like somebody else, throw that player into the mix. Cast your vote. Should I start Logan Thomas, Pat Freiermuth, or Waller at tight end? I don't like any of these options this week, to be frank with you, bro. We don't know what Waller is going to look like. I don't mind Waller in this scenario, though. I don't love Pat Freiermuth right now. I can't stand this Pittsburgh Steelers offense right now. I just don't think I can play anybody but Waller. And Logan Thomas has been absolutely inconsistent lately. So probably say give me Waller, but 10-team PPR Hurts, Bijan, okay, yeah. I mean, I'd probably go Waller, but just make sure everything looks good and copacetic walking into that kickoff. Dallas, Chicago, or Titans defense. I mean, any of these defenses could outscore the other, but again, as I said earlier, TM, I'm not sitting Dallas. They got you here. They've been balling all year long. Don't let matchups concern you too much because, again, special teams, picking up a fumble, pick six on a well-playing quarterback. Browning as a perfect example last week. The Colts defense, well, they're going up against Browning. Browning's going to look solid. Browning was amazing. Browning still threw a pick six and still had a really good day. Didn't start Zamir White, Komet, or Samuel. Why, Joey? I only created an hour and a half emergency live stream hours before kickoff and went live right before kickoff to literally say if you've got questionable options, you throw Zamir White into your lineup, and these are absolutely questionable. I'd probably go Komet, but Zamir was the play, but I'd probably go Komet. Komet's still solid. He's still capable. Samuel's not bad too. I mean, they're look, it's a coin toss between those two. Hey, Smitty, start Sam Howell or Russell Wilson. I'd probably go Howell by a hair. He's risky though. He's very risky. But he feels like borderline 10, 11, 12, 13-ish. Russell Wilson's, I don't know. It's so hard to trust him. I guess Russell Wilson. Chat, what do you think? Russell Wilson, or are we going Howell? Russell Wilson or Howell? Okay, let's see here. Smitty, you missed my member question. I'll look in a minute, pal. I'm sorry. I'll grab your member question. Do I stick with Kyler versus San Francisco, or Browning and Goff on the bench? I don't like Kyler against San Francisco, bro. I think Browning's your safest. Goff is your a little bit higher risk, higher reward play. But Kyler's capable, and like I said, they'll be down throwing, so maybe Kyler has some decent numbers by the end of it just by trying to get back into this one. I mean, kind of look at, case in point, look at Stick against the amazing playing Las Vegas Raiders. Stick still got garbage time 3 TDs. You know what I mean? So, like, you never know. But Browning, safer, steady. Goff's got higher upside than Browning, but a tad more risk. But I'm going with one of those two. Pick your poison there. But I do like Kyler, just not this week. I'm up 24 points on my opponent. Had Adams in play. I am up 24. Okay. Nice job. Nice job, broski. Okay, ETN or Breece Hall. I'm going to go ETN, but I like both of them this week. Breece Hall is 8 foot tall, if you didn't know, and he's always amazing at running that ball. Mark dropping a $2.79 super chat with nothing attached. Mark, appreciate you. Thank you for tossing that out. Same thing with Paul. Paul dropping a $2 hauler with nothing attached. Thank you, Paul. Guys, make sure you attach the message. By the time I get to it, your other messages are nowhere near it. I'll try and go look for it, but you gotta put it in the super chat. Okay, $20 hauler from Perps. Perps to the moon.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Perp says, chat, go hit that like button for Smitty. The show is, and all the content, over 225 viewers and 60 likes. We can do better. Smash the like button. Thank you. Appreciate you, Perps, for the kind words. Perps to the freaking moon. We've got Mark with a super chat right here. Mark says, Lamar in bad weather or Stafford at home. We'll find out tomorrow on the weather. I don't like to do a lot of weather before Saturday night because weather changes so quickly and people are looking at it on like Tuesday. I would say I lean Lamar slightly for now, but if weather looks awful tomorrow evening, we will re-examine that. So hang tight on that one. You got Stafford. Yeah, those are both Sunday games. So we can wait on that. Definitely wait on that, Mark. Mark, we need to address it on Saturday night. But for now, I'm okay with Lamar being in there. And if we start panicking, I don't mind the swap. Fields, Howell, or Geno. I'm going to go Fields here. Start Chiefs D or Atlanta. I'm going to go Atlanta. Off of the Raiders doing what they did, I just feel like it has similar vibes to it. Atlanta is a pretty good play, but the Chiefs are also solid. But I like this Atlanta matchup. Zeus, aka Zamir White, came through because Smitty don't miss. Thank you, Oscar. I do miss, but I appreciate you. I may take a lap for this, considering your opening monologue. But Kincaid over Goddard. Tell the chat to hit the like button. I think Kincaid and Goddard are very close. I'm not one to say that that's lap worthy at all. I think Goddard is fantastic. I think Kincaid is fantastic. There's reasons and arguments for both. Both teams are fighting hard. Both teams are going to grit it out, have a really, 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 I think, gritty performance, and I think that you can't go wrong either way. I think Goddard might be a tad safer. Kincaid probably has a touch more upside with a little bit more risk. So you got to pick your poison. You want safety, although, you know, there's risk for both of them, but I would say Goddard might be a little bit safer. Call your boy. Best show by far. Looking forward to January. January 1 is going to be off the hook. And then membership questions. We had a few of those, right? Let me see if I can find those. Bella, check yourself. 15-month membership. Made it to the playoffs. Congratulations. That boy says Kincaid, Moss, or K9 at the flex. I would probably go Zach Moss. And then McBride, starting tight end. I like that. So Moss is a bit safer. You're not crazy to go any of those options. Pyro was gifted a membership by Wheel Snipe City. Wheel Snipe City dropped a gifted membership, I think. Thank you, Will Snipe. Mike got one. Joel got one. Chris got one. Wheel Snipe gifted 5 memberships. Wheel Snipe, appreciate you doing that, pal. You're an amazing man. Thank you so much. Okay, I think we're caught up on that. Let's get right to the phone lines.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
All right. taking phone calls, dial into the show. For those of you on Instagram, where are my Instagram people at? Lee, appreciate you. 1986, appreciate you. Mark, JM, what's up? Appreciate you all. What do you want to start Barkley this week? Of course I would. Humble. Chris, appreciate you. Dial in. Brandon, you are live on the Fantasy Football Show, Brandon. Keep it as brief as you can. I can't do a whole roster breakdown, bro, so hit me with your question.
That was a quick pickup, Smitty. I appreciate it. I'm going to ask it pretty simple. I need you to pick what are the 2 players of this lot that you would bench, right? So the 2 players of this lot that you would bench. DK Metcalf, Puka, Cooper Kupp, ETN, and Hopkins.
And who? Hawkinson?
Hopkins.
Hopkins.
The two players you would bench amidst DK Metcalf,
bro.
Puka Nacua.
Look, I want to preface that this is not something that you're gonna get right even half the time. It sucks.
No way. Yeah, of course.
It is what it is. But I would say I'm not sitting Puka. I'm not sitting Kupp. I'm not sitting.
Right.
Good Lord, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I also did a lobby.
He's probably not playing. So
too much.
I'm sitting Hopkins from this bunch. Not that Hopkins is an easy sit, but in this situation, it feels easier. DK's.
Okay. Yeah, I was down to ETN and Hopkins as being the ones who would sit. 'Cause I feel like Metcalf, he performs on the stage, and Philly cornerbacks get crushed often.
Yeah, but ETN, I think ETN's a good play. But yeah, PPR.
Yep.
Full PPR. I guess I go the receivers, man. I sit Hopkins and start the other 3 receivers, but. That's, again, ETN. Yeah. How do you see ETN? ETN at any moment could be a top 5 running back play. I would say because they have been involving other RBs, because he's been banged up, but he's off the injury report, so I'm not too concerned about him. That's a tough one, man. You could start. Yeah, I couldn't sit Puka and Kupp, and I think the Rams are going to try and really air it out. I think the Rams are really going to try and grab this wild card spot. I think
decided against that. That's Stafford at QB too, so I'm
I would start these 3. All right, bro. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. Who was that? That was Brandon. TJ, you're live.
Hey, Smitty, how's it going?
What's up, bro?
Hey, so if Olave's out, would you start Ridley or Garrett Wilson?
Garrett Wilson. And Olave's probably out. I would fully expect him to be out. So I put Garrett Wilson in there for now, and even if Olave's going to maybe play, you got to figure out a lot of things. Like, is he going to be restricted? Is he going to be? So I definitely like Garrett Wilson more right now.
Goodbye. Okay, and then do you think he'll get more than 4.5 receptions?
I don't know. I mean, maybe. Probably I would say 5. I'd say 5 is pretty comfortable, but tough to say. I think they look pretty in tune right now. I feel like Garrett Wilson's being fed. I feel like the Aaron Rodgers coming back to play the final 2 games vibe is really making this thing go in the right direction at least. I still have my problems with Robert Saleh not understanding that, he needed to make moves earlier. He needed to bring in quarterbacks. Now, granted, Zach Wilson's played pretty well last week, and there's some optimism, but we've seen this before, and then the rug gets pulled out right from under us. But I would go Garrett Wilson. You're not guaranteed anything, bro.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Later. Sebastian, you're live.
With or without Tyreek and or Achane.
What?
Really
you're cutting out. You're cutting out. You're cutting out. You're cutting out. Start over. With or what? You got to call. You got to call back, bro. Your phone is just. Let's see here. We got a 856 caller. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Tommy, South Florida.
Tommy, what's up? Tommy, what can I do for you?
What's going on, Smitty? I need to sit one. Rashad White, Achane, Zeke, or James Cook.
Okay, White, Achane, Zeke, and James Cook.
Half PPR.
So clearly, if
already.
if Achane sits, then your problem's solved. But if he starts, he's a go. He's a lock. Rashad White's a lock. And really, it comes down to Zeke and Cook. I would lean Cook over Zeke if push comes to shove. Not that I don't like Zeke Elliott, but these are just three better options. But if Achane sits, then your problem, is you don't have a problem. But I don't wish Achane to sit for you because Achane's top 5 running back.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right, thank you very much. I appreciate
later, bro.
all you do.
All right, later. Appreciate you. Sebastian, let's try this again.
Am I clear now?
Let's try it. Go.
If Tyreek and Achane, if one of them sit, or even possibly if they both play, I really do think Tua's deficiencies are going to show this week against the Jets. No matter who's playing, I really do think his deficiencies will show this week.
Well, he's definitely got deficiencies. He's not an elite quarterback. He's in an elite system. So, certainly capable of that, but it doesn't mean that Achane doesn't play well. Doesn't mean Hill doesn't play well. Doesn't mean that in fantasy, Tua can't still find a way to throw 2 to 3 touchdowns and still be very efficient from a fantasy perspective. But yeah, it's a tough matchup. He needs both these guys to be out there on the field in order to probably have a good day. If he loses Tyreek Hill, Tua turns into a pumpkin. If he doesn't have Achane out there, this offense is very much limited in a lot of ways, and he's going to be less effective. He needs both of them out there. But keep in mind that this team, granted, they've had easy matchups. Everybody can say that all they want. There's a lot of teams that have easy matchups, and nobody complains about those. This is still the likely division winner. They still have a massive shot at potentially, going deep in the playoffs, not just make the playoffs. And let me get the standings up. You have a team that is currently sitting at 9 wins. So, we can rip on Tua all we want, and no one's sitting here saying he's an elite quarterback, but his team has 9 wins. And every team goes through ups and downs. The Niners lost 3 straight games, and everybody was calling Brock Purdy Brock Turdy. And now everybody's praising his name. So things turn around quick in the NFL, and this team's 9-4 for a reason. So it's good. It's a tough matchup. Anybody playing the Jets is going to potentially have the ability to struggle.
Yeah, for sure. What is your favorite game this week from a fantasy perspective?
What's my favorite game this week? Probably say, looking at the schedule here, that Dallas-Buffalo game probably. It's going to be the best game of the week.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
That's the game. That's the game. That should have been Sunday Night Football.
What time is it?
2:25 or 2:25 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
Or no.
Right,
I'm sorry. 4:25 Eastern. All right, Sebastian.
Ooh.
Nice.
Appreciate it.
All right, later. He's like trying to. It sounded like Sebastian was just trying to find out, things to say. How's the weather out there? He's trying to keep the call going. How's the weather? What's Kyler doing? I appreciate you, Sebastian. All right. Who dat says, Smitty, shout out to the people that started Raiders defense yesterday. Start Warren, Clyde, or Chandler. I'd probably go Chandler. It's a little bit risky. Feels a little Zamir White-like, but guess what? That worked out pretty well. Not saying all those risky plays work out every single time, but, you got to risk it for the biscuit sometimes. 214 caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Smitty, this is Jordan Blue from Dallas, Texas.
Jordan Blue from Dallas, Texas. My man. How's it feel to have the game of the week Jordan Blue. Okay, I'm entering you in here. Jordan Blue from Dallas. What's up, man?
Nothing much. I kind of had the same dilemma as Rock out earlier. He got Dallas defense, and it's a very tough matchup this week. I'm wondering if I should pivot to the Rams D. And then I also have a wide receiver question.
Dallas is hard to sit. They create turnovers. They don't necessarily need to have the quarterback play like garbage in order to, to have a good day. So if anybody's like, well, how do you like Josh Allen if you like Dallas? I mean, Dallas can pick up a fumble. They can special teams, punch one in a lot of ways. I find it hard to sit Dallas, but I've said it before, not to make you really confused here. I've said it before. I love the Rams as a sneaky a sneaky defensive play this week, just because they're hungry. They're trying to. Sam Howell's one of, if not the most sacked quarterback in the National Football League. I think he still is the number one. And there's just opportunity for a fumble, pick up something, run it in. I kind of just picture the Rams defense in the end zone celebrating, Like I said, I pictured Zamir White being in the end zone. Remember, first drive, he scored a touchdown. But I could just envision Zamir White just celebrating and turning around and seeing that 35, white on the back of his jersey. I just knew it. I knew it. I have a feeling the Rams D is going to score. But that said, Dallas is, how many times have they scored 20 points for you, bro, or 18 points or higher? You're really going to.
They have more touchdowns than Pollard right now.
So, how do you really send them to the bench just because it's a tough matchup? Tough matchups can bring out the best in defenses sometimes.
And I probably won't because they're playing the turnover king, and then also it's raining over there. So
weather can play a big role.
It could be a potential good one for him. So I'll probably stick with what got me here. And then I just have one more question about my wide receivers.
Yeah.
I have Justin Jefferson, Debo. He's a lock, of course.
Of course.
And DJ Moore. I do have the pivot of Garrett Wilson and Zay Flowers, but I want to go for ceiling with either Jefferson or DJ Moore.
Yeah, I like Flowers, but he can't enter this conversation. Debo's your lock, as you said.
No, not at all.
I think you probably have to go JJ. I think at this point you put him on the bench and you'd regret it. But if he blew up, I think DJ Moore, he has a tough Cleveland Brown matchup, which he's still 100 and a touch capable any given Sunday. The Fields and DJ Moore connection's real. It's elite. The report's monstrous.
I do have Fields.
I would say, and if the chat wants to vote on this one, JJ or DJ Moore, I'm going to vote JJ. Not that I'm super excited about it over DJ Moore, I'm just being honest, but I probably would still go JJ. But chat, please vote JJ or DJ Moore. Drop it in the chat for our boy.
Hey, Smitty, I appreciate you.
All right, man. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you.
God bless.
My man. And my Instagram people still going strong over here. 15 to 20 people on Instagram right now. Jaime, appreciate you. Derek, James, appreciate you. Kale, Godson, appreciate you. Bone, appreciate you, bro. Sean Cruz, Honda Guy, appreciate you. Mark, Nick, Ryan, Bobby Maximus in here. My boy Bobby, one of the fittest men on the planet. Okay, Thomas says pick 2 PPR for flex. Achane, B. Hall, Garrett Wilson, Keaton Mitchell, Chandler, also Murray, or Geno. I guess I go Geno by a hair, assuming everything looks good health-wise. DJ Moore won the vote by quite a bit in the chat, or at least enough to notice it, right? I'm going to say if I'm picking 4, or pick 2 out of these 4, if Achane plays, it's Achane. No doubt about it. No question. B. Hall and Achane. Achane can't go. It's B. Hall and probably Garrett Wilson. You're not crazy to go Keaton Mitchell or Chandler. They're just a little bit higher risk. The reward is high, but you know what? Garrett Wilson's reward's high as well. High risk, lower risk, high reward. I would say correction, PPR league. Which one to start? Jalen Warren, Walker, or Gibson? I'd probably go Walker, assuming everything looks good and checks out. So appreciate you. Thank you very much. Cheese for the super chat, the double. Rice or Reed, Fields or Howell. I go Fields over Howell by a hair, but obviously Howell can do it at any given moment. He was playing like a top 6-7 quarterback for a while, so he's capable of it. Rice or Reed, I'm probably going Rice. I think Mahomes has a day. I think Reed is very, very good. They use him like a mini Deebo Samuel, and they love him. They love Jaden Reed over in Green Bay, and I love him. He's a good player, very crafty. He runs the ball like Deebo, not like Deebo in terms of his ability to just shed off defenders. Like, no one can tackle Deebo. Nobody can tackle Deebo. Show me a clip where Deebo gets tackled and I quit my job and I come work for you. Because nobody can tackle him. You either usher Deebo out of bounds or he's in the end zone. That's why he's the yak machine, the yak king. So when I say Jaden Reed is a mini Deebo Samuel, hence I'm saying mini, a watered down version, but a very fun, exciting player because he runs the ball. He had like 30 yards and a touch last week, right? On the ground. They love running the football with Jaden Reed. But I'm going to probably say, as tough as it is, let me pull that question back up. It's going to be Rice for me. I just think Rice is one of the league's best targets per route run players, and now he's getting routes, a ton of routes to run on that efficiency of targets per route run. So he's been unbelievable. Near double-digit targets for like 3 games in a row. Lance, appreciate you. Flex Warren versus Colts, Trubisky at QB. Flex Warren versus Colts with Trubisky at QB. I don't know if you're saying you're starting Trubisky. I hope to God you aren't starting. Or are you just saying you're just trying to tell me Trubisky's starting? I know that. But Warren, I like Warren. So Warren or London, I think, is your question. I would probably say give me London, bro. He had 170 yards last week. Like, what more does he have to do to get you to start him? You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go London. But I do like Warren. If Warren was locked into the starter role and we didn't have this Najee Harris threat, and Najee practice, he's fully expected to play, I'm just going to go London. I'm not saying it's a perfect situation, but it's London at 170 yards and 10 receptions, if I remember correctly, last week. Pick 2 PPR for flex. Achane, Hall, Garrett Wilson, Keaton Mitchell. I think I answered this one already. Yeah, Gino. And I go Achane and Hall. And if Achane doesn't play, go Garrett Wilson. But you are not nuts to go with any of those other options. Thank you, Thomas. And Paul with the final super chat at the moment. Then I'm going to go back to the phone lines. If I have Hill, Olave, Hollywood, Curtis Samuel, and Flowers, DeMarcus Robinson on waivers. What is this question? I have Hill, Olave, Hollywood, Curtis Samuel, and Flowers, DeMarcus Robinson on waivers. Who do I start? I mean, Olave's probably not playing, and Hill probably does. So your starters are Hill and probably Flowers. And then it comes down to Hollywood and Curtis Samuel. I probably go Curtis Samuel given the matchup, but that's a tough one. And hopefully you don't have to worry about having to replace Hill as well. I don't think you will. And Rick dropping a 20 wad by Rick.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Rick, appreciate you for dropping the 20 wad. 510 caller. Who's this and where are you calling from? I'm going to put you on hold real quick, but what's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Aziz from California.
Who? Aziz?
Yeah.
Aziz or Ziz?
Aviv with V's.
Oh, Aviv. Viv? Pam or Pan? Pan? Pam? Spell it for me.
Aviv. A-V-I-V.
Okay. A-V-I-V. Okay, got it.
Yep.
Aviv, hang tight real quickly.
All right.
I did have Raiders D first correct streamer call of the year. Flex Keaton or Flowers. I'd probably go Flowers. He's safer. But it's certainly a fun play to go Keaton. I'm not going to lie. But Flowers seems safer. Now, the weather could determine a lot. So maybe, Rick, we circle back on this, and if the weather's awful, we might have to go a different direction. But for right now, Flowers. QB lost Herbert, Flacco, or Ritter. I'm probably going Flacco based on what he did last week, but it's risky to go Ritter. It's probably riskier to go Ritter. Thank you, Rick, for that. All right, Niner Mac, can you mute your phone? It sounds like you're on an airplane, so just mute real quick. Aviv, what can I help you with in California, my guy?
All right, I got 2 quick questions for you. First not question is I'm new to fantasy, so thanks. Made the playoffs, so thanks for everything you do, Smitty. First question is a QB question. I've got Howell, T-Law, and Browning. Which would you start?
Howell, T-Law, and Browning. God, I think I've got this question like 100,000 times. And the honest truth is I waiver on it every single time. Howell, Browning, and T-Law. T-Law is off the injury report, which is fantastic. If I look at consensus data across the entire industry, just to give you an idea of what the starts are looking like across the industry, who's starting who over what, I'd look at that data. And that data can be powerful sometimes just because you know what the masses are doing, how the masses are choosing this. And so I'd like to pull this. I have access to this data that's pretty powerful for that. Browning is the getting started ratio against other quarterbacks around the 14, 15, 16 overall quarterback rank on the week. Trevor Lawrence is around 13, 14, 15 in that territory. Howell is around 8, 9, 10. So that data tells us, not saying that's what you go off, but when you start getting all like, I don't know what to do, and you start wavering, you start overthinking it, you can't see straight, you start looking at that data to help kind of ground you. And the masses are starting Howell over T-Law, and the masses are starting both of them over Browning. Now, I don't know how smart that is. I know some of it is people just not wanting to accept that this guy can play ball. Browning, he's very consistent. If I had to say, I'd say he's probably the safest option. I think Howell is probably the highest risk, but he also has probably near the highest upside. So he's kind of a mixed bag. T-Law seems something in between. Potentially a good, really good game, potentially a really bad game. Browning, probably not the game Howell could produce if Howell is on his game, but probably the highest floor of them all. I would probably say Howell, but bro, it's tough. It kind of depends on what you need. Do you need steady Eddie? Are you projected to do well? Are you needing a big swing?
Yeah, I'm projected to win by 2. I have ETN Kamara. I have some studs on my team. So I initially had Howell as my starter, but then I started overthinking it.
Yeah, it's easy to do in week 15, man. You start thinking. Yeah. That's why I had that, and I forget who it was that asked it already. Whoever did it, don't get mad at me for yelling at you about it. But he was saying Tyreek Hill versus Amari Cooper, and it's like you can't think like that. If Tyreek Hill's out, then that question is not even the question that was posed. He's like, is it crazy to go Tyreek Hill or Cooper? Of course it is. But like these questions are a little closer. But I think Howell has produced monster numbers. He really has. He's been absolutely a big time fantasy scorer on multiple occasions. So there's definitely the potential for that. I would say though, I believe the Rams at home will be up big, and that will be conducive to a lot of throwing. Will it mean a lot of mistakes, though? You've also heard me say that I think the Rams' D is going to be very damn good. Good play. I think they score a touchdown, but you also heard me say that doesn't necessarily mean when a defense does well that the opposing quarterback can't go out and have a good day still. A couple fumble returns for a touchdown. What running back comes to mind to you that fumbles the ball quite a bit? Guy named Antonio, ring a bell? Antonio Gibson? Could it be Gibson? Yeah, could be. And so, he could drop the ball, put the ball down twice, and you could see the Rams pick it up and score a touchdown. Doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to have a horrible game for Howell, but I think the Rams will be up in the, maybe the Washington Commanders get out to a huge lead because Howell's throwing missiles, but if they're down, that's good for Howell too. So who knows, bro?
Yeah.
I go Howell barely, but I really do like Browning. He is by far and away the safest play. And the other thing I would say too for Browning, not to confuse you anymore, because I'm probably leaving you with, okay, Howell is the answer, and you're about to walk away, and I'm about to slap you on the back with the Browning sticker. But Browning goes up against this Vikings team that was just embarrassed. The Raiders bounce back, but will the Vikings bounce back? I don't know. They're changing their quarterback. This is an awful situation. Browning could get up. He could have 2 touchdowns in the first quarter or something, and us be like, "Oh my God, why didn't we see this coming? It was the Vikings. Why did we see this coming?" And I don't mean that in. The Vikings were great, and the Vikings record is still the remnants of what the Vikings were all year is still in front of us. Like, it's almost like the momentum they had is still spilling over like a ship crashing onto the bay, onto the sand, and the water's just rushing still. Like, the Vikings were playing great. Cousins was on a roll, tore his Achilles. Joshua Dobbs came in and actually did well. They even won that 3-0 game. And it's like they keep somehow winning and they're in the wild card hunt, but they do not feel they've been paper tigers before. Who the hell thinks they're not actually a paper tiger right now? That's just, like I said, having that momentum shove them forward a little bit. So I could see Browning tearing them apart. Let's get a vote here. Chat, vote Browning or Howell or T-Law. We haven't even really talked about T-Law. This is a tough decision. The only thing that makes me not go T-Law here is because of that Baltimore matchup, but anything's possible. So vote Howell, Browning, T-Law. Give your vote. Appreciate you, bro. Check the chat for the answer later, Aviv.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, are you a big Niner fan?
Yes.
Okay. Raj is coming out here to Arizona. We're going to be doing some live streams and stuff like that. So keep an eye out for that. We'll be hanging out.
Awesome. Sounds great.
All right, later.
Cool.
My boy Raj from RSF 49ers coming into Arizona. We're going to hang out. We're going to go to Lou Malinotti's Pizzeria, the best pizza in Arizona, the best pizza, in my opinion, in Chicago, the best deep dish pizza in the entire United States. This is not New York flat pizza, which is good. I'm just saying this is deep dish. Best deep dish pizza on the planet, if you ask me. And it's not because, Arizona's got bad pizza. This is a transplant company. They transplanted into Arizona from Chicago and did so because a lot of Chicago people will migrate to Arizona for the weather. So they had their biggest population of Chicago residents populating Arizona. So they moved Lou Malinotti's to the only other, I think they're only in 2 states, Chicago and Arizona. They might have another, they might be like in Colorado or I don't know. But they have only a few locations in Arizona, and it's the best pizza in the world. I told them I'd promote the hell out of them. They always take care of me. They've been like a sponsor on and off with the channel. I did some live streams. I remember I live streamed 2 years ago, the Bengals playoff comeback, and we did giveaways and stuff. So I'll be there. I might even do a live stream there from YouTube or just from Instagram. I'm not sure yet, but we'll be at Lou Malinotti's talking about probably the Niner Cardinal game because Raj is a Niner page. Okay, appreciate you. And it looks like Browning. Vikings defense is great, says Birdman. I'll start Howell. Browning. Fields going off this week, says Corey, being selfish, talking about his own topic in the middle of a vote, but that's okay, Corey, because we still appreciate you. Howell, Vikings defense, no thanks. I'm going Browning. Howell by slightly over Browning. I'd say Browning's got it by like at least 65%. And quite honestly, man, Howell is just hard to he's hard to trust though. And I just think the Rams, are going to do really well. So I would my consensus over here in the chat is Browning, and my thinking is right now safety, go Browning, especially since you're projected to win. Let me go over to Niner Matt, who's been waiting patiently on an airplane, I believe, because the sound was so loud when he joined the call. I had to tell him to mute it. Matt, what are you doing? Where are you going?
I had the fan on. That's probably what you heard.
Oh, okay.
So that was my bad.
No, that's all right. What's up, Matt?
Not flying anywhere. But hey, I do agree. Well, Lou Malnati does have the best pizza, hands down. I'm from Indiana, so I've been there a few times, and yes, they're definitely the best. So
Yeah, it's so good.
I agree with you on that point. Yeah,
it's so good. Their pizza weighs pizza weighs like 15 pounds. It feels like when you're carrying it out. It's like that's how you know when a deep dish pie is good, when it's not hollow. It's like heavy. You know, it makes you feel a little bad about yourself because you know that weight of the box is going, you know, right into your stomach. You're like, I'm literally going to gain 12 pounds by eating this pizza, because you carry a flat pizza out, and it's like, you know, you could drop it. It could, like, you could weight it wrong and it could fall off your hand. This deep dish is like carrying a dumbbell out. It's unbelievable. All right, hit me with a Niner Matt.
All right, I got two quick ones for you. One's a running back. All right, so I started Devontae Adams last night, so I luckily hit with him last night. And I got Debo and Pittman, so I got Pittman in my flex right now, and then my running backs are Kamara and Pollard, and I also have Breece Hall and Mostert on my bench. Now, should I just leave? Obviously, I'm gonna start Kamara, but it's basically between Pollard, Mostert, and Hall. And I got Pollard in right now, but if Achane doesn't play, I was thinking Mostert, but I mean, and Hall, I know he went off last week, but I mean, it's kind of risky business. Not risky, but you know, that's hard to go wrong with either one. But just thought your opinion.
Yeah, that's a tough one. If Achane's out, I think Mostert for sure. But I don't necessarily like rule Mostert out just because Achane's out. I mean, Achane and Mostert can coexist, and this guy could score, as we saw last week, even with Achane in the game. And Achane, for all the haters out there, had Tua thrown proper footballs to him, had Achane and Tua connected on that one pass alone, he'd had 70, 80 yards receiving and a touchdown. But had he gotten anything close to solid throws to him, every single time he was open, ball thrown at his feet, ball thrown over his head, ball thrown behind him, Achane would have had over 100, 110 yards, 120 yards receiving and a touchdown. And so Achane was 9 targets. Unbelievable. I think he had like 12, 13 targets. Some of them were so far over his head, I don't know that they counted him as targets. He had more than 9 targets. I counted them. But he had 9 targets on paper, was an absolute machine, and Mostert still scored 2 touchdowns. So Mostert's still a fantastic play. Very safe. Probably the safest RB here. Pollard, I do like an awful lot, but he is sharing carries. He has been kind of, you know, hit and miss a little bit, but he's been running really well. I kind of liken Pollard's production as of late similar to Walker's production at the beginning of the year. Remember, Walker would get like limited usage, but he'd find his way into the end zone. And it was like by the end of the game, it was like he salvaged it every game. And remember, like about mid-season, I said, guys, Walker feels amazing right now. I mean, you guys know how much I love him. I'm an adjust and adapt person. But we need to be a little careful if the right offer comes along that we don't potentially make a move, because the volume wasn't really there. If the touchdowns didn't come, the production wouldn't be there. And I love Kenneth Walker. And even into this game against a very tough Niner defense, I still think Walker's phenomenal. Or, I'm sorry, against this Philadelphia Eagles defense. Walker's still phenomenal. But last week against the Niners, tough matchup, Walker still looked phenomenal. There's a few plays where he was just elusive as hell. I love him, but I feel like Mostert's very similar. He needs to convert on those touchdown opportunities in order to really capitalize on the upside. I think Hall is a very tough player to sit right now. He's kind of a tough mixed bag as well, because he didn't get the carries last week. The yards per carry aren't there. It's not his fault. It's the offensive line. It's a mix of everything. But he did so much damage through the air. It was an unbelievable. You going to bed? Okay, come here. Come here. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Can you say Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow. Okay. We'll see you later. Good night. Okay. Nope. Okay. Anyway, so I would probably say this is like that CNN video where the kids come in and then the wife's dragging. Okay. And the wife comes in and drags the kids out. Thank you. I think while it's really hard to sit Hall, it really is very, very hard to sit Hall. I'd probably go Mostert for safety. I think Mostert is probably the safest play here across the board. But God, bro, if you start Hall, you could convince me in 10 seconds to start Hall. All you gotta do is start talking about how tall he is. He's 8 foot tall.
Choice out of those three.
He will.
Is that what you're saying?
Pollard, what?
I said you take Mostert and Brees over Pollard then.
Oh, because you could start 2?
Well, I got Kamara as my other running back, and I'm starting Pittman in my flex because I started Devontae. You're not supposed to start Thursday guys in flex. I started Devontae as my wide receiver 2, and Debo as my wide receiver 1.
I mean, I would rank them right now. This could change, but I would rank them right now. Mostert 1, Hall 2. Okay. I hate putting Pollard 3. You got yourself a dilemma because you're gonna miss this every single week, bro. Every single week.
Oh, I know. Well, I mean, I'd rather have this option than not.
Than none.
I actually
True.
traded for. I traded for Mostert. Like I needed receiver depth. This is why Debo was hurt. Pittman was my wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
I had Josh Allen. I traded Josh Allen for. I got Devontae Adams and Mostert for Josh Allen because I got Purdy.
Yeah. Hey, hold on 1 second, bro. Let me just. T. Brady dropping a 50 watt on screen. T. Brady.
Super chat alert.
T. Brady, appreciate you dropping that 50 watt. I'm gonna read your message in 1 second. All right. Hey, anything else I can do for you, bro?
Yeah, one more. Rashee Rice, this is a super flex. I'm starting Mahomes and Kelsey already in my flex. Should I start Rashee Rice, go triple, or Cortland Sutton? Because DJ Moore is my other receiver.
Cortland Sutton, Rice. Those are the two options.
Or Rashee, yeah.
I'm going Rice.
I'm
not disrespecting Sutton. He keeps grabbing touchdowns. Let's give him his flowers, okay? Smitty, hold on. Smitty approves Sutton. I like him.
Okay.
He's good. But I'm starting Rashee Rice. Double-digit targets pretty much. If I remember correctly, it's like 10, 9, 10, something like that. Rashee Rice is near double-digit targets, right on the verge of it. If not 10, 10, 10, whatever, for the last 3 weeks.
So even,
and again, huh?
Go ahead.
No,
I said I got Kelsey too, so that's what I said. Should I do the triple stack?
I mean, I do. I kind of like putting it on Mahomes making a little comeback tour here. I think it's going to make it fun. Think Raiders, what the Raiders did. It's comeback week, baby. It's revenge tour week. But you're not crazy going Sutton. You're not crazy going Sutton. Give me Rashee Rice.
Okay, you start Jordan Love over Tua too because it's super flex. I started Tua all year, but I'm thinking Love this week. You think Love over Tua?
Chat, let's go to the chat on that one. Love or Tua or Love. Let's go to the chat on that. I think a lot depends on if Achane and Hill both play. I'm going Tua. If Hill's out, I'm going Love, but it's still very questionable. Tua, Love could struggle. He could do well. It could go either way. All right, thank you, pal. Appreciate you, Niner Matt. And
thank
then
you.
T. Brady, and then we got Perps. Perps dropping 20 gifted memberships in the chat. Perps, everybody, if you got a membership from Perps right now, you thank the man. He just gifted 20 YouTube exclusive memberships to the chat. Absolute monster. And T. Brady, what's up, Smitty? Year number 2 from following your channel in the second year in a row in the playoffs. Hit that thumbs up, fam. Need some advice. Warren versus the Colts or B-Rob out. Gibson versus the Rams. I'm going to go Warren. Gibson, I just can't trust Gibson. I don't. I mean, he gets receptions. I don't know. You're not crazy to go Gibson, but I do think the Rams have a really, really good day. But that means they could be the Howell and the boys could be throwing from behind, and that could be good for Gibbs, but it takes away the running upside, so he really has to do everything through the air. I don't love Warren right now as much as I want to because of the usage and the divide between him and Najee, but I still think Warren is super capable. They're still giving him plenty of volume. I lean Warren by a hair, but it's a tough call because Najee is expected to play, and there's no potential way more volume divide going on this week than normal. And Kincaid versus Dallas or Freiermuth, I'm gonna go Kincaid. He's still balling out in a sense. The targets are there. Maybe the yards and touchdowns haven't been there the last 3 weeks, but the targets have been there. And so I really am excited about both those plays. I do have Ron Navy on the phone, who's a Steelers fan. Sometimes he'll tell you don't go near a single Steeler, and then the next time he'll call in screaming and yelling because I didn't say start one of his Steelers. So depends on what version we get of Ron tonight. But Ron, are you going Kincaid or Freiermuth? And are you going with Gibson or Jaylen Warren?
Actually, I think the safer bet is Freiermuth, to tell you the truth. And Jaylen Warren I would go with this week because they're going to run the ball a lot. But it's sporadic with Kincaid. And just remember, I mean, I know you're big on the Bills, but they're one of those teams that haven't done well. They hit a struggling Kansas City team that the only reason Kansas City didn't win that game is because of the offensive offsides, or they would have won that game. So Buffalo isn't doing as great as everybody thinks they're doing. They're not really. They're one of those teams. The top teams are struggling right now. And the hottest teams are the Cowboys. And what makes you think the Cowboys are just going to go from doing what they've been doing to struggling against the Bills? I don't see it happening. I think Pollard has a day. I think the Cowboys take care of business. I think we're going to have a lot of upset Bills fans after this weekend. I love Browning. I love Browning. But he's got to face the Vikings defense, which isn't the same defense as last year. They've been doing really good this year with the defense. The Raiders scored 0 on them. So I'd almost go with the Commanders. I'd almost go with the Commanders because they're going to be throwing, and all the spoiling teams have been winning lately. All the teams that spoil other teams, they've been winning lately. I
hear you. So what I'll just say is that it's either going to turn around or it's not. I think, as I said at the top of the stream, the Buffalo Bills are going to go on a tear. I think Josh Allen's back's against the wall. He's got so many people doubting him. He's got so much, I think, upside in this current moment. Sure, it could all go down the toilet, sure, but this is a game in Buffalo. It's going to be an exciting game. It's the game of the week, and I think Josh Allen's coming the ball. And if he doesn't, he doesn't. I get it. I think Mahomes is coming to ball as well. I think these two guys are going to step up when it counts. They're both clutch-type players. Everybody's doubting them. And just like we saw with the Niners losing 3 games and looking completely derailed, they came back, and now they're the hottest team of football. I think any team's capable of bouncing back. Kincaid's been getting monster targets. He's been getting monster targets since about I think it was week 6 or 7 when I pulled up that data that minute ago. And so the volume's there. But the only reason I don't trust Freiermuth right now is because I don't trust that passing attack. I think, you're going to get a rushing touchdown by your quarterback before you're going to get a passing touchdown anywhere inside the 10-yard line. But anything can happen. Freiermuth and Kincaid are as close as it gets, to be honest with you. But I would go Kincaid because I feel, as I've mentioned all year long with all the rookies, the great rookies push through that rookie wall. I believe Kincaid is in a delayed rookie wall, whether it's all mental. You could say, he didn't get used that much at the beginning of the year. But some of the rookie walls, just that you're tired, you're taxed. You're a rookie. You're used to 10, 11 games. You're not used to this 17-game season. So you're kind of taxed. You push through it. And I think Josh Allen's going to lean on Kincaid big time. But bro, Brady, you got to trust your gut because it really is a 50-50 call. You're hearing two people argue about both sides, so it's clearly close enough to argue. And we both agree on Warren, which is good. I think Gibson just doesn't give me enough comfort. I don't trust him at all. I know he's capable of having a big game at any moment, but why am I going to trust Gibson in my first round of my playoffs. He is so capable of just disappointing you. At least Warren's going to get some volume. And as Ron said, they're probably going to run the ball a lot. So go Warren. Brady, I appreciate that super chat, pal. And this last one from Thomas here. Thoughts on wide receiver Michael Wilson this weekend? He's got 26 points, 2 TDs versus the Niners week 4. Flex 1, Michael Wilson or Noah Brown, Thielen, pick 2. Also pick 2 QBs, Goff, Love, or Howell. I'd probably go, Goff's risky, but his upside's high. And I think that St. Brown and Laporta probably both score in this, meaning that I believe Goff has at least a 2-touchdown game in the cards here. Love and Howell's a tougher call. I probably lean Howell slightly. And I think that they'll probably be, if not up big and Howell playing well, and I don't think they'll be up big, but that could be the shocker, right? Well, then he's playing well. Or they're down a lot and he's throwing from behind. So that'll be good for Howell, I think. Love's decent. I'm not saying Love's not a good play. And I don't know. Maybe I waiver on that one too. That one's so tough. Let me pull this up real quickly. Where's my schedule real quick? Let me go back to this. Man, I don't know. Love at home. Morning game. Tampa. Do you agree with Goff, Ron? Goff is probably the play, right? I think the Lions at home, they need to bounce back. They're gonna throw. I think they're gonna run too, but they're gonna run a lot. But I think Goff's probably the lock, right? Goff's the lock.
But Denver's been playing really good defense lately too, so
but
we'll have to see. I mean, Golf at home, he plays better. If I got to bet on Golf, I'll bet on in Detroit than on the road.
So when it comes down to Howell or Love, Howell is on the road at the Rams, and then we've got Jordan Love at home versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't know. I'm wavering on that one, to be honest. I was saying Howell with confidence, but now I'm like, God, do I sit Love? I don't know if I can sit Love.
Love sputters, and sometimes he starts out strong and then he ends bad, but most of the time he starts out really slow and he doesn't come on till the second half.
I don't know.
So,
I don't know. Let's go to the chat on this one. Love at home versus the Bucs or Howell on the road versus the Rams. Can we get a vote? Let's go to the vote on this one. I appreciate the question, though. Thomas, it's a really good one. As for the wide receivers, I know the tendency here is to go Michael Wilson. You want to use previous data, but that was a different Niner team, my guy. Completely different Niner defense, completely different vibe, a completely different flow. And I know Noah Brown crapped the bed hardcore last contest, bro. But I have a feeling Noah Brown does something a little different this week, but it's tough because, I mean, without Stroud, it's hard to really know what the rapport is going to be. But he seems like with Nico out, I mean, who else are they going to throw to?
Minchie.
Yeah. But Noah Brown probably gets involved. The chat is saying love Howell. Love Howell, love. I'd go Howell. Love's leading by a hair. The problem is Howell and Love have both been top 6 quarterbacks at one point or another for a string of games, not just one time. Like, they've lived in the top 6, 7 quarterbacks for a string of games, both of them. I'd probably lean Love. I'm going to change my vote to Love on that other question. As for so that's that. It's Goff and Love for me, and I'm going to probably go Noah Brown. I don't like this matchup against the Arizona Cardinals against the Niners, bro. I don't like it. Okay, hang tight, Ron. Let me get through a couple of these other calls, and if you have something else you want to chime in, definitely chime in. Unless you got something quick you want to say real briefly before I circle around the phone lines.
No, I'll wait. Go ahead.
Okay.
Do you think?
Cody, real quickly. Cody, Tua, Goff, Murray, or Wilson? I'd probably go Goff for the same reasons I said just a minute ago. I just think they're at home. As Ron said, they play better at home. Goff's better at home. And I just think they're on a mission. Usually when they get embarrassed or play badly, they can come back and try and, try something different. And I think that's going to be throwing the ball to St. Brown and Laporta. Warren or Mitchell? At flex, this is where I could go Mitchell. Weather's going to determine a lot, and that could be good for Mitchell. It could be bad for Mitchell, but I think, they might run the ball a lot. The problem is, do they run the ball with Gus? I don't know. The weather could make them change their run game plan too, but I would probably lean Mitchell by a hair in this question. I like Warren a lot. If Warren was the starter, the lone starter, I would be telling you to go Warren all day long. But Warren's not in that position. They're both in a sharing carry position right now, so I lean toward Mitchell. He's been getting more and more work. He's hovering around 8 to 12 carries. I'm hoping he gets like 13, 14 or something like that because that'll give him more opportunities to pop one off. But you're definitely playing with fire sitting one of those guys or starting one of those guys. There's no way around it. Let's go over to Marsman, Travis Rowe, and then I'm going to go over to Jacob, Jason, then Ninja. Travis, you're up. You're live. Everybody else, if you can mute for me, that'd be great. Travis.
Hey, Smitty.
What's up?
I missed the beginning of the show, so you might have covered some of this. My dilemma right now is I have Achane in my lineup, obviously. Kenneth Walker at flex, but I also have Ty Chandler, who plays tomorrow. Do I just wait to hear more on Achane and make a decision, or do you think I should preemptively play Chandler in case Achane misses so I can have Chandler and Walker in?
I think that's probably the smartest move because I wouldn't, if Achane's playing, I'm not losing sleep over Achane over Walker. Not to mention that, if you ask me in a separate question, Walker or Ty Chandler, I'm literally going to waiver on that and say, I want to say Walker, but the matchup is there's pros and cons to the matchup. Like we said, statistically on the year, it's a tough matchup, but lately points can be scored against this defense, the Eagles. So, but Ty Chandler feels like he's in a good position to get 15 carries or something. So I don't mind going Ty and then waiting on Achane, and you'll be so happy that Achane is starting and playing that you're not gonna lose much sleep over it. But I don't know that unless you got another option that is near Ty Chandler good, like McKinnon. If you got McKinnon, then maybe I would.
I have McKinnon and Ford, but
Ford's good.
Chicago's defense has been pretty good, but
Ford's a good play. I think I like Ford over Ty. It's close.
Do you?
Yeah, it's close. I mean, I could argue if we remember the button we used to have where you could flip the script on me and I had to argue the other stance. We could bring that back in the offseason, where basically if the chat put a recycled emoji enough times, I'd have to argue the other stance. I could easily argue, any of these sides. But I would say Ford to me feels like the safer. I would say safer option. Probably.
Okay, and I mean, Chandler is he more of a volume play just because he's the starter, or
he's?
I guess he's fast enough. He
4.38,
catch a big one too.
4.38 40. I like him a lot. I mean, he's a sneaky good play. But is Ford? Are you going to trust the Vikings offense, the game script for Ty Chandler? There's a lot of moving parts to that.
Well,
I don't
guess
think
that's true. I have Hawkinson too, so that would keep me from having two Vikings in my lineup.
Yeah, I definitely don't. I definitely don't feel really, really, really good about the game script for Ty though. But Ty's not a bad play for anybody that doesn't have Fords and McKinnons. But so that makes me want to wait until later to make my decision. You can easily wait on Achane and not be a big deal.
Right, that's true. All right, cool. All right, thanks, Vinny.
All right, later, Travis. You can hang on the line real quick. Let me go over to Jacob. You are live, Jacob. Actually, Jacob, real quick. Hold on one second. Aiden dropped a $20 hauler. Let me hit this button real quick. Aiden, appreciate you, my broski.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Aiden, my main man. Dropping a wad. Aiden says, lost Herbert and Stroud. I'm sorry to hear that. In the same week. Need a disgusting QB to win the playoffs in a 2 QB league. Oh, my other QB's Purdy. That's good. My other QB is Purdy. Options are Tommy Cutlets, Zach Wilson, Ritter, Nick Mullins. I think you got to go, like, Zach Wilson's interesting. But I probably go with DeVito. I think there's just I don't know, the vibe feels right. I don't know if I'm saying that out of excitement though. You know, everybody's excited about this guy. Like, he's fun to root for. But does he score a lot? I mean, he have like a touchdown, 200 yards, no INTs, and like just kind of navigate his team to a win. So Zach Wilson certainly has more upside, but there's a lot of downside as well. Man, probably say given the matchups, you got Cutlets going up against damn, bro, that is so tough. You got Saints D in New Orleans. That's a really, really, really tough matchup. And then you've got Zach Wilson at Miami. Miami can cause some chaos, and that's in Miami. Chat, what are we doing? Are we going DeVito, Giant QB at New Orleans, or are we going with Zach Wilson, Jet QB at Miami? Can we get a vote on that one? Let's do a group think on that to give Aiden the best advice we can give him. Options, yeah, that's tough, bro. Aiden, let's check the chat. The chat's gonna have a good sense of what's going on here. I think even better than I do, because groupthink is an important aspect of this, I think. With Achane still not practicing, that's untrue, Ray. He did practice today. I think I'm going to have to start Monty for tomorrow's game. What do you think? I think definitely want to make sure you watch this show and not other people who tell you that Achane didn't practice. But I would say that he was limited today. There's definitely an upgrade to his status. Monty is not a bad play at all, though. Monty's very safe. Like, I wouldn't even fault you for going Monty just to make sure, you know, you got that safe play in, because you got nothing else on the other side that you can lean on. So I would say Smitty approved this move if there's no upgrade to Achane, like he's going to play. And even if he was going to play, I'd be okay with this move. You know, Monty's a safe play. And like I said earlier, I think the Detroit Lions are going to run the hell out of the ball. I think the Detroit Lions are going to do pretty well. So thank you for the $10 hauler, my boy Ray. Thank you to the moon for that. Appreciate you. And then let me get these other two super chats out of the way and hit this phone line that's full of like maybe 10 people. Father of 3, long time no see, Smitty. Appreciate you for dropping the super. Started season 1 and 3, ended up finishing 9 and 5, locking up a playoff spot. Just wanted to say thanks for everything, brother. Thank you, Father of 3. Fantastic to see you. Great to hear that you're doing well, bro. Okay, Max with the super chat, final super chat of the moment. I got them all cleared out. Yo, Smitty, 0.5, start 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. Brees, McKinnon, Walker, Keaton Mitchell, St. Brown, Devonta Smith. Okay, so pretty easy. St. Brown, Devonta Smith are your 2 wide receivers. Brees Hall. And I'd probably say McKinnon. And then if it was me, it's between Rice, Walker, Keaton Mitchell. I'd probably lean Rashee Rice. Those are my safe calls, but I mean, God, man. I mean, Walker's so hard to sit, but it is. I guess I would say give me Walker over McKinnon versus sitting Rashee Rice. So maybe Walker is a tad safer for volume, because we don't know what McKinnon's going to get, but McKinnon's higher risk, higher reward. So lock in Rice in your flex spot and the waivers between McKinnon and Walker. Chat, can we vote on McKinnon or Walker? Walker, McKinnon, please vote in the chat for Max and let Max know what you're thinking. Let's give him some group think. Let's go over to Jacob from Colorado. You are live, Jacob.
I got 2 questions for you, pretty gross ones. First one is, who would you rather start, Likely or Goddard?
Thank you, Fire from IG, Fire to the Moon, who said thank you for all you do. Give me the dilemma one more time.
2 questions. First one is, who would you rather start, Goddard or Likely?
Likely. Goddard. Thank you to my IG
and
people.
What's the news with the weather status? I didn't even hear about it.
We're going to do weather tomorrow. I don't do a lot of weather on Friday and Thursday because it changes so much. We just waste a lot of time, scare a lot of people, and then people make decisions and don't check back. And so I'm waiting until tomorrow night to do weather. But I would probably say that it looks bad for the Baltimore game, but we'll have to wait and see. I would say for me, unless weather takes out Likely, he's probably the safer option. Just right now, he's getting good volume, good targets, always liked Likely. If I remember correctly, Ron, was Likely, he wasn't a Moon Man last year, was he? Isaiah Likely, or there was something he was on, but I don't know if it was the Moon Man list.
I think he is more of like, he wasn't on the Moon Man, but we talked highly about him. And then he kind of just like let us go.
Yeah, it kind of let us down, so it's easy to like walk away from a player that lets you down. Similar to my love for Kyren Williams. As a rookie, you will not find an analyst higher on Kyren Williams than I. And I admittedly didn't give him enough attention this offseason because I was so let down from my prediction not coming true when I said he'd unseat a healthy, at that moment, healthy Cam Akers, and then Kyren got injured. And so, like, sometimes we let that. I'm going to go over this in my online courses, my fantasy football video courses on thefantasyfootballshow.com. How to not let your own bias take you down. There's so many, ways that you can let bias infect you. But Likely, we loved him a few, like over a year ago. And, he hasn't necessarily done what we wanted, but ever since he got put into this position to be the starting tight end for this Baltimore Raven, hungry, fighting for the division team, okay, this opportunity seems very, very, very lucrative for all you likely fantasy owners. It seems like he's going to get massive targets. I'm not saying Goddard won't be very similar. In fact, I'd probably say they have similar risk and similar upside. They're almost identical because you have this guy who's coming back from injury still. He's kind of like, what's he going to do? Are they going to throw the ball to him enough? What does the volume look like? This guy, you have not a big track record. The weather, there's so much risk involved. I'd say if the weather looks awful, we remove Likely and you start Goddard. If the weather looks a lot better than people project, then I would lean Likely just by a hair, just because the targets seem to be there. Whereas I don't really know what Goddard's going to face target-wise. Weather should determine it.
My other dilemma is Marquise Brown or Adam Thielen. Both been a joke.
What did Thielen do last week? I don't even remember.
Like 11 points. I think like 7 for 9 targets, something like that.
I'd probably go Thielen only because Hollywood Brown, isn't he still banged up? Was he removed from the injury report? I don't recall off the top of my head.
No, he still has the heel even after the bye.
I would say with that matchup, bro, that Niner matchup, the fact that he's banged up, the fact that I don't care if he got removed from the injury report, I still don't believe he's healthy. No one's healthy right now. It's week 15. But I would say, and I could live to regret this, bro, because Hollywood Brown could have a touchdown or something like that. But I would probably say give me Thielen. And not to mention, do you think Carolina is going to be leading that contest? I do not. So they're going to be throwing, garbage time potentially. But I don't love either option. What, Ron?
Thielen had 7 targets, caught 5 for 74 yards.
That's good enough.
Last week.
I mean, he was on a tear earlier. He's definitely tailed off. The Fountain of Youth only injected about half a season worth of revival goodness into that, but he's still capable. And like I said, is Carolina going to be leading in this contest on Sunday?
No.
I will. Yeah. If the Carolina Panthers win this game, I quit my job. I come work for you.
So, and then what I was thinking was Dobbs is still on the waiver. So I was thinking, should I just drop Hollywood Brown for Dobbs because Watson is out and Reed is hurt?
I don't know. Dobbs is so hit and miss.
We're at playoff moment, you know what I mean? So
yeah, Dobbs is capable of a touchdown. What other wide receivers are out there, bro? I have a feeling I'm kind of sniffing.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
But you let me be the judge. You let me be the judge of that, Jacob. You list off them wide receivers that are available, and let's see if we can find ourselves a Cinderella. So name off the top like 6-7 wide receivers that are.
Let me see.
Bro's gonna tell me there's like a. Like Shaheed, for example. Shaheed's a good play.
Yeah, I have Olave, though, too. It's not, I can't just drop one. But, okay, so you still got Jahan Dotson up and Romeo Dobbs and then you go lower to Mingo and then Elijah Moore. And yeah, that's Robert Woods is like the last.
What about
one, just
Shaheed?
Because everything.
What about Shaheed?
I mean, I have Olave. That's questionable. But I mean,
You've said that twice. You've said that twice, Jacobs. I'm asking, what about Shaheed? I'm not asking about Olave. But I got Taysom Hill.
I would have to drop like Marquise Brown.
But my question is Shaheed available?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay. So I mean, you ask me. I mean, Ron, what do you think? Do you think Shaheed is a better option than what was it? What do you have? Was it Thielen? Thielen, right?
Thielen. I don't know. I mean, Thielen's the starter. I don't know.
Like Dobbs might be the better play and just drop Marquise Brown.
Wicks is getting a lot more. It seems like Wicks is getting more involved.
Wicks is banged up though. There's a chance he doesn't play. Yeah, there's a chance he doesn't play.
Yeah, I mean Dobbs.
I'd say there's a lot of moving.
Get a lot of volume this week.
A lot of moving parts to this. If let's say, first of all, if Jaden Reed and Wicks are out, then Dobbs is a pretty damn good play. If one of them is out, let's say Wicks is out, but Jaden Reed's good, then Dobbs is still good. Shaheed's high risk, high reward. He could have 100 yards and a touchdown. I'm gonna put my cojones on the table here, and I'm gonna say I would go Shaheed over Thielen, but this is a Zamir White play. This is like you've got to understand the risk here. You're rolling the dice, and you shouldn't be back here next week going, Smitty, you lost me my league. Like, you got to make this decision for yourself. But do I feel like Shaheed's got that touchdown in him if Olave's out? Yes.
Yeah, because he's a deep threat.
I don't know. Carr's been
Is it full PPR?
Yeah.
Is it full PPR?
I'll probably more Romeo, honestly, and look at who's playing with Reader,
all right,
Wicks. You know what I mean?
All righty, bro. Appreciate you, Jacob. Later,
bro.
Do what you feel. Do what you feel's right. He's like, I'm probably gonna go Dobbs instead of all that. Fine, I'm gonna erase. Thank you for wasting my marker, Jacob. If you're not gonna use Shaheed, let's go over to Jace. What, Ron?
You always say go with your gut.
I know. I'm just joking with him. Jason, you're live. Then I'm going to Ninja. Then I'm going to Perps. Perps, hang tight. Unless you got to Perps, you got to go or anything? Do you need to jump ahead here?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. Perps is just chilling. All right, Jason, you're live.
Hey, Smitty. So I have 3 questions. The first 2 are fairly straightforward, but the last one's a fun one.
Oh, you let me determine if that's fun. You know what? Can I tell you something? The funniest thing people tell me is they always say that you're gonna love this is a fun one, Smitty. They're never really that fun. They're not any different than anybody else's, bro. But that's okay. Let's pretend it is. Hit me with it. Go.
All right. So the first one is Kyler Murray or Trevor Lawrence. It's 4-point throwing touchdown, but still 6-point rushing touchdown.
Well, I don't know that Kyler's running a lot of touchdowns in on that Niner D. So give me T-Law, but it's arguable. It's debatable for sure. T-Law.
Okay. Second one is go with a hobble Tyreek Hill, Zay Flowers, or Curtis Samuel.
All right, next question. I think what you meant to ask is if Tyreek Hill is out, Smitty, who do I play out of these 2 guys?
Well,
are you really going to sit Tyreek Hill hobbled?
Probably not, but I figured I'd ask.
Okay. Fair enough, but you're still going to get a lap on that one. But go ahead. Who are your other 2 options? In case Tyreek sits, let me tell you who you should go with. Go ahead.
Zay Flowers or Curtis Samuel.
Zay
Full
Flowers
PPR.
Zay Flowers by a mile for me. Now, weather could make us reassess that. Come back to me if that happens. I'll be live an hour before kickoff, so we can discuss that. But I would say put Zay Flowers in the shotgun.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right, so now the fun one.
Oh, the fun one. Now, how much you want to bet this isn't fun? Go ahead.
So in this league, I've lost Kirk, I've lost Dell, and on the verge of losing Olave.
That's not fun.
Well, in less than 2 weeks.
That's depressing. But go ahead.
Yeah, very much so. So I moved up JSN to my second wide receiver spot, and I have a flex spot, a wide receiver tight end spot, and I'm trying to fill that in with either Schultz, Waller, or Jahan Dotson, or see who's on waiver.
See, that's not fun. Okay, who's on waivers?
No. Give me 1 second.
I'm having fun. Ron, you having fun?
Hell yeah, I'm having fun.
Perps, is that fun? Ninja, you having fun? I'm just kidding with you.
Sure am.
I'm just kidding
Always
with you,
having
Jason.
fun.
Jason, don't take it wrong. All right, go ahead, Jason.
So,
Who's available on your fun question?
There's Mingo, DeMarcus Robinson, Michael Wilson, Rondell Moore, Rashad Bateman, Jamison Williams, and just gets worse from there.
J-Mo's not like that's actually like touchdown capable, so I'm gonna write him down. I don't know that I would go J-Mo, but Michael Wilson, assuming he's healthy, everything looks good. Given that he did have a good game against the Niners in the past, he's not a bad option. But let's go around the phone line real quick. I don't want any explanations. Just give me the name, unless you have like a 5-word, attached sentence to it, like small. J-Mo or Michael Wilson. Your other names, real quick, if you don't mind reading them off again, Jason. What were they? The ones you have.
The options on my roster.
Yeah.
On waiver.
Your options on your roster.
It was 2 tight ends. It was either Schultz or Darren Waller.
Okay, so Waller, Schultz, Michael Wilson, or J-Mo. Ron?
Schultz is back. J-Mo, they've been using a lot more. So either one of those.
Okay, let's Travis. Real short. Give me your answer.
What was it, Schultz or J-Mo?
Schultz, J-Mo, Michael Wilson, or Waller. Waller's interesting, but I don't trust him yet. But you never know.
It's Schultz or J-Mo. It's Collins out? We don't know, right?
Yeah, Collins is out. Stroud's out.
For sure.
Stroud's out. What?
Oh, Stroud's out too.
Stroud was in.
You missed my break. You missed my breaking news show, Travis. We can tell. Somebody.
I told you. I missed the beginning of this show, the breaking news. I was out of it. So I guess probably Jamison, but that's tough.
I can't go around the whole room. Perps, give me your answer real quick. J-Mo or Michael Wilson.
I'm changing to Schultz. Sorry.
Okay.
Schultz.
Perps.
Schultz.
Okay.
Schultz.
I'm gonna lean J-Mo for high upside, high reward, and then I'm gonna go Schultz if you want a much safer play. But you have maybe Davis Mills throwing the ball to Schultz, which could be good. I mean, Davis Mills is capable. And then with Nico out, he'll be heavily targeted. But I'd say J-Mo for me, just by a hair. All right, thank you, Jason. Appreciate you, bro.
No problem. Thanks, Smitty.
Let me hit this super chat here from Red. Red dropping a $20 hauler. Red, appreciate you. I have more than 30 seconds to get my team together. When I call in, sure, Red, I'll give you more than 30 seconds. Red to the moon dropping whenever you drop a $20 hauler. You're going to get a little more than 30 seconds when you dial in.
Alert. Super chat alert.
All right. Let me go over to Ninja. Ninja, you're live. And then David, and then Perps.
How's it going? So am I crazy for wanting to put OBJ in for Olave?
Olave's not playing, so no. You're okay.
Oh, okay. Then for if Achane doesn't go, would Garrett Wilson be a better alternative?
Let me preface that Olave is not expected to play. There could be a miracle, but he's fully leaning toward not playing. There's really not much hope at all. So, okay, I'm sorry. Your second question was what? If Achane doesn't play, what?
Is Garrett Wilson a better option?
Over Achane, if Achane doesn't play?
I mean, sorry, yeah. That didn't make sense. Yeah, if Achane doesn't play, would you go with Garrett Wilson or Ty Chandler? Sorry about that.
No problem. I'd probably lean Garrett Wilson, but you're not nuts to go either one of those guys. They're both very decent plays. I would just say, Garrett Wilson exploded last week, had over 100 yards, looked really good. The Jets are trying their best to get Aaron Rodgers back on the field. And like I said, to every single Aaron Rodgers hater out there that just runs their mouth on this topic, and it fuels me to talk more about Aaron Rodgers. But they're not going to make the playoffs. He won't be back. He'll be back if the odds continue to increase. Because he'll return with 2 weeks left if he decides to return. And nothing will be set in stone by then if the Jets win both of their next 2 games. So he absolutely will return if that 5% chance, and you can't take that 5% chance away from the Jets. They have a 5% chance of making the playoffs. If they win both their games, Aaron Rodgers might return. I love what Garrett Wilson's going to be doing for everybody moving forward if Aaron Rodgers can get on the field. Even if he can't, it seems like they're forcing the football in his direction. We all, and I'm guilty of this as well, I could even send myself on a lap, but I won't because I think Salah has still done a horrible job. We all wanted Zach Wilson removed as the starting quarterback. Blindly. Like, who are they going to put in? Nobody. So it's like, I admit, I wanted it to just happen. I just wanted to see what the options were. Maybe Boyle would be better. Maybe they bring somebody in. They missed out on getting options that weren't great, but maybe better than Zach Wilson. And then once they replaced Zach Wilson, it was worse. And then we're all, okay, where's Zach Wilson? Is Zach Wilson still here? Can we get him back up to the front and put him back in? Zach Wilson's at least force-feeding Garrett Wilson. And I like Ty a lot this week, but it is a little bit risky, and I don't like the way the Vikings look right now. And so I'm not confident in the game script for Ty. If the game script is good, then I think Ty's going to have a good day. But I would lean Garrett Wilson by quite a bit. And if Achane's playing, of course I'm playing this top 5 running back that's hated by so many people, and I love it. I'm starting this man over both these guys if he's playing. All right, Ninja, anything else?
And then you just said to call back in tomorrow because, I was hearing about, the weather with OBJ, so, I don't know if that may be.
Yeah, let's hit the weather tomorrow. Can we all just acknowledge something about weather? 90% of the time, all the weather concerns are blown out of proportion. They're almost always a non-factor. I would say 80% of the time, they're a non-factor. Whenever people freak out about weather, it's 80%. I'll say 80%. 80% of the time, overblown. What you're worried about is wind, and that's what we're hearing could be a problem with a few of these games. If there's 20 to 25 to 40 mile per hour gust winds, then there's an issue. But some of those gusts can be usually, and I didn't get my degree in weather. I'm not a meteorologist or anything, but I will tell you, general rule of thumb, the wind gust is about the normal wind is about half or a little less than half of the gust. So if the wind gust is 20, the normal winds are around 7 to 8 to 9 to 10 miles per hour. If the gusts are 25, usually it's about 14, 13 mile per hour wind. It can definitely change. You're not concerned about 5 mile an hour wind. You're not concerned about 10 or 12 mile an hour wind. Sometimes that wind isn't even on the field. It's just that's what the weather is, and it's reported. That's why when you go check weather, it says 20 mile per hour wind, 18 mile per hour wind, 15 mile. Everyone's got different numbers too, because how are they calculating? Are they calculating it outside of the stadium? Like where it's not going to be as big of a factor on the field with all the different blockage. There's so much that goes into weather, and everybody just panics over weather. They hear weather's bad, and they sit good players. So we really have to take into account tomorrow. I think I'll do my best to get on top of the weather like I've never got on top of the weather before. And we're gonna do this live tomorrow, okay? Call back in, Ninja.
Perfect, yeah. Yeah, I'll call back in tomorrow. Perfect.
All right, later, bro. All right, let me go over to David, then Perps. David, you're live.
What's up, Smitty? Hey, I need some help with the quarterfinals. I got Stephon Diggs, Drake London as my wide receivers, and just need some help with my flex. I got OBJ, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, and I got Calvin Ridley too. I feel like OBJ is the one to go with, but I just want to get your advice on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I threw up on my mouth on this one, but like Odell seems like the best play. Like I don't like it, but look, the pattern's there. When's the pattern going to break? Is it going to break this week on you? And you're like, son of a B. Why did I trust this man? He gets hurt in the first quarter. But like, who is playing best? Odell. I don't like it any more than you do. Do I want to say Ridley? Yes. And if you want to roll the dice and you're good with it, he does have by far and away the most upside. Like, no doubt about it. He is the most upside, biggest upside play. T-Law was taken off the injury report. Safest play, Odell. High risk, high reward play, Ridley. What would I do? I put Ridley.
I also have Kenneth Walker. I don't know if that matters.
That's not bad. I'd probably go Walker. But I would probably play Ridley over Odell, but I could live to regret that.
Ridley over Odell?
Yeah, I would, but, bro, Odell's safer. If you need safety, if you're looking at your matchup and you need safety, go Odell. But, man, I probably would say I would go Ridley, but I'd probably go Walker. Real quickly, short answer only, 30 seconds. 10-second answer only. Ron Navy, Walker, Odell, Ridley. Pick one.
Walker.
Travis, Walker, Odell, Ridley, pick one. Short answer.
Walker.
Okay, Perps, Walker, Ridley, Odell, pick one.
Walker.
I agree with all three of them. I would lean Walker in general, but between Ridley, if you got another flex option, sometimes people say that and then they go, okay, now my flex, one between those guys. My choice would be Ridley over Odell, but I would probably lean Walker as well as if it's a flex play.
Even with like I know y'all go with Walker, but even with what's his name, Zach Charbonnet, like taking half the load. Like,
yeah, I mean, but look at last week. Walker was still, the guy, and as we've talked about kind of all week, it's not a great matchup on paper in general, but like Travis was saying, that points can be scored on them, the Eagles, and this is a Monday night game. The Eagles have been rattled a little bit. I think they do win this game, but man, if there is an upset this week, that Seattle-Philly game is honestly one of the top three potential upsets. I think the Eagles are going to. I think Jalen Hurts, this hatred toward Jalen Hurts is out of this world crazy. I think that there's something to do with these high-end quarterbacks. Everybody loves to pile it on and say, Josh Allen, he's garbage. Oh, my God, told you he's not great. Even Brock Purdy to a degree. Yeah. Brock Purdy's getting overhyped in some circles, and Brock Purdy's getting overhated on in other circles. You have people trying to tear down Brock Purdy and separate situation from player. And as I always tell you, as much as I think people are crowning this man too early, you also cannot tear him down and say, oh, it's the playbook that makes him good. He's not a good quarterback. That's a stupid way to look at it. Can you take away Jerry Rice from Joe Montana, as you've heard a lot of analysts talk like that? Yeah. I think Richard Sherman said that. He's like, do you hear anybody talking about, Joe Montana's only good because he had so-and-so, Steve Young, so-and-so. These are all situational situations. So I'm not partaking in that, but people are ripping on Allen right now. People are ripping on Jalen Hurts. Who was it that was talking about it? It was one of the big network shows talking about Jalen Hurts and how the Eagles don't trust him anymore. And there was video footage of Jalen Hurts taking falls and dives on the football to make sure he doesn't fumble the ball. And when he got up, he rolled his eyes. He rolled his eyes, walked away, and the camera zoomed in. We don't fully know why he rolled his eyes. It could be because he was being forced to do these drills that make him, hold on to the ball when he's diving, which they have every right to do that. If there's been a ball security problem, a real elite quarterback would say, hey, that's a problem. I've been doing, let me just practice this, whatever. But they're making it out the media like the Eagles don't trust him, the ownership doesn't trust him, everything's falling apart, the sky's falling. The Niners lost 3 games in a row and looked like dog water. Now they're atop the NFL.
Yeah.
The Eagles will be fine.
so-
I'm not saying they win the Super Bowl, but they'll be fine. They're still a top 2 or 3 team in the entire National Football League. The Buffalo Bills, in my opinion, are the best team in the AFC. They just don't have the record to show for it right now, but I believe they're going to go on a tear, which is why I titled this video that Josh Allen's going nuclear, because I believe he's going to try his damnedest to bring this back and get a wild card spot and run the table in the AFC in the playoffs.
I agree, and I'd rather see the Bills in the playoffs too. And what's it called? So your opinion is you believe the Eagles bounce back on the Seahawks game, is what I'm hearing.
At the end of the day, yeah, but I'm also saying that, like, could this be one of the upset games? Could this be a game where Walker does well,
yeah, for sure.
DK does well? Sure. It's definitely got the makings of that.
It is because Walker is kind of game script dependent. Like, if they have to throw a lot, you know what I'm saying, then I don't think Walker will be used as much. But he is the goal line back. You're right.
Trust your gut, bro. Trust your gut. Ridley's the
Yeah.
highest risk, highest reward play, even over Walker. So if you wanna swing big and you want 100 yards and a touchdown with the risk of 2 points, Ridley's your guy. If you want more of a steady option, go Walker. But there's nothing wrong with going Ridley. All right, bro. Appreciate you.
Yeah. What about Drake London? Sorry.
You're gonna change the exam and
I just because I was kind of iffy on Drake London too.
After everything we just discussed, you're gonna throw another player like Drake London into the mix. I can't go through the whole gauntlet of choices again, bro. But I will just say, let the chat vote, guys. Are you voting London, Walker, Odell? Pick your poison, Ridley. London, Walker, Odell, Ridley. Vote for who am I talking to? David.
Yeah.
Vote for David. All right, later, David. Perps, you're live.
All right.
Guy re-asked the question after. No offense, David. Don't take this the wrong way. I still love you, pal. But he re-asked the question. It resets everything. Like, let's throw London in there. Now let's have another 15-minute debate on my question. Let me throw in arguably the hottest player of them all, London. What do you think now? Like, I don't know. London's.
You don't like your answer, I guess.
London's a great play. But, I mean, good God. Ron, real quickly, short answer. Does London top that list if he throws London into the mix?
I still take Walker.
Rock out. You taking London or Walker? Short answer.
Walker.
Okay. Oh, by the way, I've got Christian McCaffrey.
I got this and that.
Hob G, appreciate you. The dopest fantasy show on the airwaves. Good luck to everybody. Thanks for getting us this far, Smitty. No, thank you, Hob G. Appreciate you with the $20 hauler. You've been a monster for well over a year now. Thank you so much.
Alert. Super chat alert.
My boy. Okay, let's go over to Perps. Perps, you're live. Thanks for waiting.
Yep. Smitty, earlier you were saying that you're all out on James Conner.
No. I'm not all out on James Conner. I'm not all out on James Conner.
49ers defense.
Yeah, but I'm not all out on James Conner. It's a case-by-case dependent question. I'm not all out on James Conner. He could have 100 and a touch at any moment, but, like, what's your alternative?
So I got Pollard as RB1. I got Conner in as RB2. But on the bench, I got CEH, Spears, Mitchell, and Sharps.
See, that is where, it's like, how do you play? Sharps is not the starter. There's upside, sure, but Connor's getting way more volume, even if the matchup's worse. And the Niners can be run on. They can be thrown on. It's not like it's going to be 20 yards, for him. Connor's certainly capable of having like that 40, 50, 60 yards and punches a touchdown in. a penalty, a defensive holding on the 15-yard line, moves the ball close, offsides, all of a sudden they're on the 1-yard line, they run Connor in. Like, anything can happen, man. But you don't have the options, the luxury of sitting Connor because of a bad matchup. Connor's the easy play here. I like Clyde a little bit. I like Spears more than a little bit, but Henry's getting volume. He's got to get it all in the passing game for now, which is good. It's decent if you're in emergency flex territory, but you're not. You got Connor. Connor's solid. He's getting a lot of volume.
Yeah, and I like the upside with Mitchell, but it's just too unpredictable, especially, not to bring it up, but if the weather goes sideways, he not get the looks that he needs to get the upside. I don't know.
Yeah, I go Connor though.
But yeah, so that's who I had there, because I'm gonna go. I did Adams in my other flex, and I'm gonna do Rice opposed to any of those other guys.
Yeah.
To my last flex.
Rice is a good play. I like Rice a lot.
And then in my other league, I got Breece Hall and McKinnon in right now for RB2.
Okay.
And was going to leave Spears on the bench. And then I have Keaton Mitchell in as one of my flex with Downs. My other options would be Noah Brown or Spears.
Keaton Mitchell and who?
Downs.
What's Downs' status?
Or Clyde.
Does anybody off the top of their head know if Downs is 100% healthy?
He's been playing, and I think he's healthy. He just hasn't gotten quite as many targets as late.
Yeah, this is one of those things where I say, those rookies go like this and then boom. Like Downs definitely has the ability, especially with Minshew, that rapport is really strong between them. He has the potential to pop off. I think I'm okay with Downs going into the lineup, but I don't know.
He's healthy. He said he's healthy.
Yeah, it's not like your options are making me, change directions here. I probably lean with what you got. I think Downs is a good play. Who's your other one? Your other starter?
You like Mitchell over the options of CEH and Spears and Brown?
Yeah. I'd like, that's where I say, you know what? Let's go with the fun play. Now, that's a fun play. Mitchell's a fun play unless it doesn't work out. Then it's going to be pretty depressing. But Mitchell's probably the play here. Tough to say.
No, I agree. And then back to the 49ers Cardinals game. I mean, obviously there's upside there, but if Kyler gets stuck in the pocket because of their defense, there's a chance, looking at it, that Connor might get some more work than, I guess, what is originally looked at, or what do you think there?
Well, Connor could get game scripted out in the run, so they got to throw to him. But, he's going to be, I think, heavily involved. The other thing, too, is the Niners, for whatever reason, and you could blame this on whatever you want, but it seems like Shanahan has been starting off really slow in the first quarter. So there's still opportunity for this to be a close game in the first quarter and a half, but all it takes is one big play, and any game can get out of hand. But I feel like Shanahan just takes his foot off the gas at the start of the game now, and then his defense is, playing so well. The offense is going to outlast everybody, wear down defenses. By the end of the game, that score gets way out of hand. But, I think Connor will be heavily involved at least to halftime. And if the Niners get up big, then, he's got to do a lot of work in the receiving game. But, again, the options you listed are just not good enough. All right, Perps, hang tight. I'm going to circle around the phone line here. I got Marsman Rock Out. Marsman Rock Out, you are live. What can I do for you? Axe, turn mute yourself until we get to you, Axe. We get a lot of reverb and echoing going on. Marsman Rock Out. Thank you, Axe.
Yeah, we thinking on Walker. We didn't really hear any news about him or anything.
Who?
Walker.
I mean, I don't feel like Walker's, at risk of seeing a bunch of work taken away from him. Am I concerned a little bit about the matchup? Am I concerned a little bit about Charbonnet? Sure. Kenneth Walker, the latest news on Kenneth Walker is as follows. It's just nothing. Walker rushed 8 times for 54 yards in the Seahawks Niners loss. 4 receptions for 33 yards, heavily used. He was out carried by Zach Charbonnet. So it'll be interesting to see how many did Charbonnet get? Let me look at what Charbonnet did. Let's see here.
He had more rushing yards, I think.
Yeah. But it was 44 yards, 9 times. So Charbonnet ran the ball 9 times, and Walker ran the ball. I feel like it's an unfair characterization of the two, because it very, very much felt like Walker was a starter. But yeah, I mean, 8-9 carries each. Yeah, 8-9 carries each, but that was against a very tough Niner defense. But I think those numbers you could say Connor replicates those, and you just get a little bit stronger shot of a touchdown for Connor. But I don't see any injury news on Walker right now. Oblique, nothing that concerns me. I think Walker gets about 12 to 14 carries in this game. I want more, but that's what I would project.
Walker out-snapped him, too. So
yeah,
just another little.
Yeah, that's where I think it's mischaracterized a little bit.
42%.
Sometimes that NBC report, I don't know who writes those up, if it's one guy all the time or a handful of 3 or 4 guys, but sometimes those NBC reports are like very biased, and sometimes they're not. Like, you can always tell when somebody's writing it that has a fantasy football investment, because it's like Charbonnet, let's say something like they're pretty negative against Achane. I noticed when you read any NBC report, it's like Achane is constantly blah blah blah, whatever. Okay, let's see. Anything else, rock out before I move on real quickly? You can stay on the phone line, but I'm gonna circle around real quick, and then we won't be here too much longer.
Would you have Walker over Mitchell and McLaurin? I probably need him if Olave's out as flex, or would you have Walker over Javonte as my RB2?
Walker on all those counts.
You would have Walker over Javonte as RB2?
Yep, on all counts, Walker. There's risk, but...
All right, who would you have at flex if Olave's out?
And Walker's already in. Name him again.
Let's see, we got Walker, Mitchell.
Walker's already in. Mitchell.
And McLaurin.
Probably. I mean, McLaurin's been getting targets. He just hasn't really delivered. I would say.
And Javonte, right?
Javonte's so tough. Like, I'll always want to root for Javonte. The question is, like, what's the workload going to be? I love
Javonte plays tomorrow, too, so.
Yeah, Javonte Williams. Let me pull up a few things on Javonte real quickly. Javonte Williams. I mean,
McLaurin's been brutal.
Yeah, McLaurin's been non-existent, but the targets have been there. 17 times for Javonte. That's that's good volume, man. I mean, 66 yards, a touchdown. Seeing him punching the touchdown was really, really nice. I think it was his first of the year, though. I would probably say go Javonte, man. Let's go. Let's ride Javonte into the playoffs. Touchdown, 90 yards. I mean, that was a good day. Javonte and Walker.
What? So have Walker as RB2 and then Javonte as the flex.
Do it live.
Olave's. All right.
Yep. All right. Thanks, Rock Out. Actually, Rock Out. I'm a.
What are you saying, Travis?
I was just going to say, if you play Javonte and he plays tomorrow, you want to put him in your RB spot so you can keep your flex open just in case.
Yeah. That's what I got right now.
All right, Rock Out to the moon. I'm going to let you go, Rock Out, because I'm going to cycle the phone line off because I gotta get going here. I might be back tonight to do some drafting potentially. So I'll see you later, Rock Out. Appreciate you, bro.
All right, cool. Thanks.
All right, let's go over to Red. Red, hit me with it. I'll give you more in 30 seconds, but let me know what you got, Red. Try and keep it as quick as you can. Go ahead.
Hold on. Damn it. Hold on. Let's keep quick.
Red's not ready.
So I'm trying to figure out how to place for Olave. I have Higgins, Cooks, Foreman, and McKinnon. Watson's out, and so is Collins. I'm trying to figure out who I'm putting for my flex.
Higgins.
Cooks. McKinnon.
McKinnon.
And that's all I got.
I kind of lean McKinnon, but like Cooks is pretty damn steady, bro. I mean, I almost feel like the logical move is Cooks, but
that's what I'm thinking.
But McKinnon.
I already have Lamb on my team, though. It's the thing. I have Lamb on my team. My team is Jackson, Gibbs, Ford, Lamb, Flowers, Olave, Dallas's D, and Tucker's kicker.
Yeah, I mean, Cooks is probably. What's Cooks? Cooks has had how many touchdowns? How many games with touchdowns in the last like 6 weeks? He's had. Brandon Cooks. He's been so.
For the year, he's had 5 touchdowns for the year.
Yeah, he's been so steady lately, but he is questionable with an illness still. I think Cooks did not practice on Thursday or Friday before being listed as questionable per Cowboys beat reporter. The team expects Cooks to play, so he's probably going to play. Cooks has been one of the biggest beneficiaries of the. Okay, what do you have last week? Cooks had.
I think he had 9 points. 9.6. Oh no, sorry, 5.7 last week.
Yeah, 37 yards. Okay.
And I got Higgins, but I don't see him doing much with that quarterback.
Well, no, Browning's been solid. I
have Foreman too, but
I would say Cooks is steady. I wish there was an easy answer. There's just not. Cooks is steady.
Yeah.
Cooks is steady. He's your safer play. McKinnon's your high risk, high reward play. You need a little bit of risk. You know, but
I do have one more question.
You're
for
okay
you.
with the risk.
The guy I'm playing against, he has Achane on his line. I'm projected 1 point ahead of him, and it's the first round of playoffs. Is Achane still out for that toe injury, or is he playing?
I mean, he was upgraded to limited this Friday practice report, so he's trending in the right direction. But there's still a chance they sit him if they're worried more about playoffs than this game. They have a little bit of a lead on the division, so. Depends how they feel about that lead. It depends how comfortable they feel with it. They shouldn't be comfortable. They should, given the way the offense has been playing. But they are more concerned, I think, about making sure everybody's healthy in the playoff run. So there's a possibility they sit him for a week. But the other thing people need to consider is like Tyreek Hill. I don't think there's going to be always ultra cautious with Achane. They were with his knee injury. I don't know how much they're going to, view it the exact same. I mean, he's limited. He got upgraded today. Everyone wanting him to be out doesn't mean he's going to be out. There's so many haters out there. Just stay focused on if he plays, you start him. If he doesn't play, you're obviously not going to play him. But if he starts, you start him.
Yeah.
The Achane haters are just they're trying to infect everybody because they're so pissed off at themselves. That's all it is. It's regret. It's full of regret.
Well,
is he injury prone?
Hurt, man.
We'll find out next year if the injury prone thing carries over. Like everybody's banged up right now. He's had the highest scoring running back game in fantasy football in 2023. Number one. I believe he still leads the league in 40+ yard runs. He's in the top 5 and 20+ yard runs. He's had monster performances. He's an absolute marvel. People can rip on him all they want. Am I disappointed he popped up with a toe injury now? Yeah. Do I think there's a chance that he has trouble staying healthy in his career? There's that possibility. I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to say no. Every running back has a risk of getting injured and having injury problems. McCaffrey was the most injury running back in the entire National Football League for 2 straight years, and now he's playing through every game. Everything is, going to be season to season, game to game, case by case. His 2 knee injuries, I do not chalk up to Achane being injury prone. His knee injuries have nothing to do with his ability to stay healthy. Those injuries would have happened to anybody. If you want to say the toe injury mixed with that concerns you, I get it. But those knee injuries had nothing to do with his size. He got hit in the knee. Maybe a lot of people would have had a torn ACL. You could say that Achane, because he's so flexible. He's such a speedy, elusive dude that's slippery, and he slipped out of a potential ACL tear. Everybody can say what they want about him, but those knee injuries were not something you can correlate to being small and unable to handle a direct hit to the knee. It's like saying Breece Hall's ACL tear when he got hit at the side of the leg had anything to do with Breece Hall being injury prone. Like, people need to use their brains on this stuff. But anyway, I got Red, anything else? Because I got to run.
Just so we're clear, you said out of Higgins, Cooks, Foreman, and McKinnon, you said go with Cooks.
No.
Just so we're on the same page.
No. I said Cooks is your safe play if you want safety. McKinnon's your high risk, high reward play. I didn't really actually answer it. I didn't really actually answer it. Red, I'm not. You don't have to leave yet. I didn't actually answer it yet, but it's a complicated answer. Like I'm forcing myself to give you an answer, so I'm giving you both answers because there really is no legit easy answer for me. If it was me, first of all, let's give you more help. Let me go to Ron real quick. Short answer, Ron. McKinnon or Brandon Cooks?
Brandon Cooks and Smitty, there's a guy in the chat. He's causing problems. He's got a bullcrap name. You might want to block him. He's doing that spam stuff.
Who is it?
It's HJKCJCCD.
Yeah, that kid's always causing trouble.
What's it? How do you spell it? H what?
I've warned him a bunch.
How do you spell it? H what?
JCCD GG
All right.
J8
Done.
B.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, Cooks because and that's why I'm picking the Cowboys this week to beat Buffalo. I don't have no faith in Buffalo. Buffalo has the better defense. Micah Hyde is out, and plus Nessa is out for Buffalo's defense. That's major. And I'll take Cooks going against that Bills shot defense right now with their big players out. I don't think the Bills win this game.
All right, so Travis, what do you say, Cooks or McKinnon?
Oh, sorry, I was on mute.
Quick answer.
Probably Cooks.
Okay. Perps, Cooks or McKinnon?
I like the upside with McKinnon just because Mahomes is going to come out pissed off and he's going to play different this week, I'd say. But Cooks isn't a bad play, so whoever needs him has to choose their guy. So.
I guess if push came to shove, I would say, God, I say I'm going to go McKinnon. But if you need steady, Cooks is your pick. If you need a higher risk, high reward play, like you need a big swing, you need somebody to step up. You started off against the Raiders defense or something like that. Then I'd probably say give me the big swing of a 2-touchdown game out of McKinnon or something like that. But tough to say. All right, Red, anything else? I got to roll.
Yeah, bro, I'm not going to waste more time, brother. I appreciate you, man.
No, you got
words about my matchup is Hurts.
You got okay. If you got a quick one, throw it at me real quick. If you got another one though.
So the guy I'm playing against, he has Jalen Hurts Monday night, and I have no one playing past Sunday. That's my only big concern is that Monday night game with Hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not really a question. It's more of a statement, but yeah. I'm just trying to figure out the best lineup.
Let's get you one more bit of help. Chat, vote McKinnon or Brandon Cooks. Cooks or McKinnon. Cooks or McKinnon, please vote for Red. Red's a solid super chatting monster on this channel, and Red deserves your groupthink. McKinnon or Brandon Cooks, please vote for him. Red, appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you, brother. Take it easy.
Yep. Perps, final thoughts, Perps. Oh, Perps left. Ron Navy, final thoughts.
No, I think we're going to have some upsets again this weekend.
Yeah,
I think
really good.
Arizona, I don't know. Arizona could be an upset over Frisco.
That would be sweet.
Frisco might let their guard down.
That'd be sweet. Raj is down here. We're gonna be hooking up and doing some IG live streams and such. He might pop over to my studio, and we're gonna go eat at Lou Malnati's Pizzeria. But that would be killer if my Cardinals could knock off his 49ers on his trip down here.
Raj isn't tall, is he?
Raj? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so.
I think he's probably like 5'6", 5'7", maybe.
Somewhere-
That's what I would guess.
Somewhere
He's
around there.
like a smaller guy.
He's got a big heart. He's got the heart of a lion.
Don't hurt him.
Big heart. All right. Anything else, Ron?
No. Raj is a good guy.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have some fun. We're gonna hit up Lou Malnati's. They're gonna take care of us over there. It's gonna be a fun time. So catch us on IG. Raj is my boy. He's coming out, and we're gonna have a lot of fun streaming and everything. All right, thank you, Ron. Appreciate you.
Later.
Final thoughts, Travis.
Yeah, real quick, if you're a CMC owner, do you have to hold Mitchell and Mason at this point?
I don't know. I mean, it depends. We're 3 weeks left. I don't think you're gonna. If you lose CMC, you're probably not gonna win. But I think that because you don't know which one. I mean, Mitchell banged up, then it's Mason. It's like you don't even know. Who the backup is. But it depends on the options. If we're talking about hoarding players you're not going to use, you might as well hoard the KC running backs and hold both of them versus have guys you're never going to use at wide receiver 5, 6, or 6, 7, 8. But I don't know.
Just real quick, real deep question here. Wandale or Judy? Probably Wandale, right?
Yeah. I don't like either, but Shaheed, if he's there. He seems to be the most available, desperate play.
All right. Thanks, Vinny.
All right, later, Ron. Or later, Travis. Appreciate you. Perps, final thoughts?
Yeah, sorry, Smitty. I hit the hang up button on you.
Yeah, no problem.
After I asked my question before, I went and looked on the waiver wire, and it looks like Shaheed was dropped. You still say Downs over him?
Shaheed over Downs?
Yeah. Or no, Downs over Shaheed.
I'd probably lean Shaheed by a hair, but man, that anything can happen. Downs is really capable of busting through that rookie wall, which I kind of think he's hitting right now. You know, but I think there's a real.
You think he could do it through Pittsburgh D?
I don't know. It's tough to say. I would lean Shaheed by a hair, just because if Olave's out, and Olave should be out. So if Olave's out, I lean Shaheed. If Olave's not out, then I go the other way. But trust your gut, because I'm literally forcing an answer on that one. It's pretty close.
Yeah, well, if I add him, I'm going to have to drop Deontay, and
yeah, who cares about
I've been
Deontay?
holding him to drop him because I got Waller on IR.
Yeah.
So when he comes off, I'm going to have to clear a bench spot. So.
Perps to the moon. Appreciate you, Perps. Later, man.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you. Appreciate you, bro. All right, Elvis. Elvis, what can I do for you? I can't give you too much time, Elvis. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to ask your question, and then I'll answer it. And if we go a little over, no problem. But hit me with a 30-second question. Go.
I'm wondering if I should take a lap. I didn't play Adams because he was sick, and I don't believe in Thursday night football. And now I've got Diggs, Devontae Smith, and Chris Olave to start the first week of playoffs.
Oh, bro, why'd you say? I mean, we did a live stream on this. Yeah, a little bit of a lap.
I was coaching a basketball game, so I didn't check Smitty Universe.
Yeah, a little bit of a lap. I mean, Adams was a great play. I know it's easy to say that in hindsight, but we talked it up.
Since week 3. He hadn't done anything since week 3.
I know, but I'm just saying he was a great play. We talked it up before the game, and
you did.
But I mean, the problem is he's a great play for you, especially because you have Olave, who for all week has been very, very, very doubtful to play. So it's not like Olave had any hope.
I stopped Smith and Diggs. Got Achane in the flex.
Okay,
Kyron Williams.
Okay,
and,
so if you only
at running back, so.
if you only have to start, you only have to start 2 wide receivers.
Yeah.
Then you're fine. You're fine.
Okay. I also have Kelsey at tight end, so
you're good.
I feel like
you'll be fine.
I can survive this.
Yeah,
Okay.
you'll be real good. You got Devonta Smith. You're not sitting Devonta Smith anyway. And if Achane plays, you're golden. If Achane doesn't,
sit him. I was going to sit Smith because I have the 3 running backs, and then I've got Diggs, and I would have played Adams, but I have to start Diggs. There's no way I don't start Diggs.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Diggs. You're good. You're good, bro. If Achane doesn't play, if Achane doesn't play, who are your 2 options you're weighing at the flex?
It would have it's 3. It's the 3 receivers. So
Same again.
It would have been Smith and Olave. I also have like Cooks and
yeah, I know, but
Mitchell.
Smith is locked in as your wide receiver too. So who if Achane sits, who are you weighing? Olave is not going to play. So it's between Cooks, Achane, and who?
I've got Mitchell. I had picked up Zamir White like you told me to. He already played, unfortunately. I also have a Foreman.
Yeah, I mean you are kind of in a bind. If Achane doesn't play, you're looking to a bunch of home run high risk swings. But Cooks is.
But that's why you picked up in the waiver wire and you listened, so you're prepared for options.
I know, but you picked up Zamir White. Didn't play him though. But I would say probably Mitchell or Cooks. Probably Cooks for safety.
I can pick up Jalen Reed right now off of the waiver wire right this second.
I would probably pick up Reed and hold him just in case, bro.
But who would I drop? I have Likely at tight end and Waller in the IR. Should I drop Likely?
Are you giving Likely? Are you giving Likely? Are you giving Likely to an owner that's tight end needy, and you're going to hand him a win over you? You know what I mean?
There's only 4 teams in the playoffs, and the 2 opponents I got are pretty locked in at tight end. They got Ingram and Njoku. So
tough to say.
I think Reed for Likely is probably something that
it's debatable. Like you could be making a mistake on either side of that. I wish I could tell you there was.
I do have Waller in the IR though too. So I picked that up last week.
Yeah.
But I've tried Kelsey. The odds of him getting hurt, he's a big boy. He doesn't get hurt very much.
Yeah. Whether might Travis says start Likely in the flex. Look, Likely in the flex isn't a bad option, but you got to have the weather in support of that. So we got to wait until tomorrow. Call in tomorrow, Elvis. We'll try and work through your flex spot a little bit better. But stop taking it out on Thursday Night Football, because Thursday Night Football has been much better than Monday Night Football this year. Thursday night's been pretty good. So you need to let go of that from last year.
And he's got a Monday night again.
Yeah.
I had Jalen Hurts on Monday night, and he's got another Monday night, and I'm a little nervous about Jalen. I almost want to start Purdy over him.
I mean, it's not crazy. Not crazy, bro.
I mean, it's Arizona.
I can't sit Hurts, but chat, Hurts or Purdy, vote on that one in the chat. I can't sit Hurts. All right, later, Elvis. Call him tomorrow. Later.
All right, appreciate you.
Bill the Tickler, I got to go, so you got a very short amount of time. No storytelling. What can I do for you, Bill? Appreciate you.
Hey, Smitty. Happy holidays to you, the family, and the community. Got 2 for you. My first, all the same team. My tight end options are McBride, Ingram, and Likely, and I'm leaning heavily on Likely this week.
Weather is definitely going to be a factor. Weather is definitely going to be a factor. Ingram
Ingram and Likely are playing each other, so then if that's a factor, do I default to McBride, which is 4 hours before?
I mean, Evan Ingram's hard to sit, my guy. He had 2 touchdowns last week.
I know.
He's
hard to sit, but we're question marking T-Law right now, right?
No, T-Law is off the injury report.
Okay.
So I'm not saying Ingram's the lock. I'm just saying, he had a 95-yard 2-touchdown game, 11 targets, 11 receptions, 12 targets, and then the week before that, Ingram didn't he have a touchdown in back-to-back weeks? Ingram finally finds the end zone in week 13 loss, 82 yards and a touchdown. I mean, Ingram's been on fire, man. Let's go to the chat real quick. Are we going Ingram, McBride, or Likely? McBride's got a Niner matchup I don't love. Likely's got potential weather, which we got to revisit, and Ingram has been on fire.
McBride is more for. I'm going to be in the playoffs, so McBride is more for next week and the week to come.
Bill, let me ask you the usual psychology question, my guy. Did you play Ingram last week? The answer is no. I already know it.
Did I play Ingram last
week? You didn't play Ingram last week. I already know the answer to this. But what did you play Ingram last week? The answer is no, right?
No. You want to know? Yeah, no. You never guess who I did play. Because
that almost doesn't matter.
I know it doesn't matter.
Well, who did you play?
I went Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill. But do you know how I know you didn't play Ingram? Because if you played Ingram, Bill, you wouldn't even be questioning starting him. The only reason
I would be. Actually, I would be.
No, I don't think you would. The only reason you're this is psychology 101, bro. The only reason you're questioning Ingram is to back up your no offense, your misstep last week of sitting him on his 2 TD game. If you had him in your lineup for his two touchdown game, you'd be saying Ingram's a lock. Ingram's a monster. But the only way to feel better about this, and this isn't your fault, Bill, it's just me explaining the psychology behind it. The only way to feel better about this 2 TD sit from last week is to be right about it at the end of the day. He's not worth starting, right, Smitty? The answer is he is worth starting. I
never take that approach. No. There's many more reasons why Ingram didn't play last week. I promise you that. We won't get into that. So my second conundrum would be my flex spot, London or Drake London or Javonte Williams.
Ooh, that's a good one. I was about to say you didn't start London. I'm sure you didn't because London was easy to say.
Come on, relax.
170. That's a big game you had last week. But let's have the chat vote.
This one, my matchups last week, so
this one's tough.
I could have won by more if you were right.
This one's tough. Let's go to the vote on this one. London.
And I guess keep in mind that flex spot is the same team, so Ingram and McBride would technically be in that question if you want, or if you want to throw them out.
All right, hey, I gotta go because it's getting late. So, Bill, I'm gonna leave this up to the chat. London or Javonte or London? Please vote for Bill the Tickler. Bill, I gotta run. Appreciate you, Bill. Bill to the moon.
Smitty, you and yours have the safest and greatest holiday.
Hey,
love you guys.
Bill, I can't talk about this long, but someone told me that your old restaurant closed down.
Oh, it wasn't me.
Have you looked it up? Have you looked it up? Somebody said that 38-degree restaurant closed down.
My phone. The day that place posted that they were done forever, my phone blew up with all the people that didn't know I had already separated myself from that place. So,
wow.
But it's funny that you heard that, but I was not the one to tell you that.
That's crazy. All right. Well, hey, Bill.
That's fantastic. Love you, buddy.
Later.
Thank you.
Later. All right, I'm going to be out here in just 1 second. I got to go over to these super chats. We've got Hoosiers with a $5 hauler. We've got Mac with a $1.99 hauler. We got Kendall with a $4.99 hauler. Thank you very much, all of you dropping these. Garrett, did I put Garrett's on here for the $2 hauler? I'll put it there just in case. Hoosiers, I got Hoosiers on here. Kendall with the $2 hauler. Kendall, appreciate you. Nick with the $2 hauler. Nick, appreciate you dropping that. Russian Collusion coming in with a wad. Russian, I'm sorry I missed this until right now, but Russian Collusion with a $100 hauler. What is going on here? What is going on here, ladies and gentlemen?
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
Russian Collusion with a $100 hauler. He's a unicorn, people. He's a unicorn. Merry Christmas, Smitty. With your help, I have been killing fantasy football and crushing player picks on Underdog Fantasy. Promo code Smitty, where Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100 by using the link that's in the description of the video. By using the link that is, let me see if I can drop the link right now in the live chat. Let me see if I can grab that link. Hold on. Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. Here it is right now. Hit that link. Thank you, my boy Russian Collusion. Let's see. I am also in 8 Best Ball Manias. Thank you. Russian's killing it on Underdog Fantasy. You guys could kill it on Underdog Fantasy too, where they'll double your first deposit up to $100 by using the link that I'm going to drop in the live chat again. The link that's in the description of every video. The links, both of those, the same link in the live chat, in the description, they enter promo code Smitty for you. You can also do that manually if you download the app, and it says, how did you hear about us? They'll double your first deposit. Russian, appreciate you dropping the $100 hauler, my broski. Monty, Saturday, or Waddle. I'm going to go Monty. Tyreek status is unknown. He didn't practice, but I think he's going to play, but we have no idea, COD. We're going to find out probably tomorrow, or he'll be a game time decision. But I think he'll play. I'm leaning 60% chance of playing regardless of practice. Full PPR, Jaden Reed or Flowers. I'm going to go Flowers. Reed's a little banged up. Monitor that. If the weather looks awful, we're going to shift over to Jaden Reed. But right now I go Flowers. No buys. Championship next week. Much love, Smitty. Thank you, Kendall. Appreciate your super chat. Garrett, full PPR, Ridley or Aaron Jones. Because Aaron Jones is still iffy and, you know, his health is still kind of in question, I'd probably roll the dice with Ridley. It's not a safe play, though. 19 full PPR, 11-1, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 flex. Fields, Bijan, Swift, Tyreek, Puka. Tyreek and Puka are locked in. Bijan and Swift are locked in. Fields, nice job. Olave probably won't play, so I'm probably going to go with Walker. Walker's a solid play. I like that. Nice team. Sorry about the injuries, but Kendall, you're pretty set. There's not much of a debate there. Start Rams, D, or Saints. I'm probably going Rams on a whim. If you need a big upside swing, they feel a little bit of that like crafty secret weapon defensive play this week. They're fighting for the wild card spot. I love the Rams play this week, but the Saints are a little bit steadier. Terry, Deontay, Ford. Give me Jerome Ford. He's a touchdown potential, maker for you. Touchdown maker. With B, Rob, and Madison officially out, you like Connor, Chandler, or Gibson. I lean Connor by a hair because I fear the game scripting out of Chandler a little bit, but I do like Chandler. I would probably go Connor. I think the volume will be there for him. Need 1 to play with ETN, or would you play 2 over ETN? No, I'm starting ETN. He's off the injury report. I go Connor for safety. Although Chandler is a little bit of a higher upside, like big swing, like a little bit more risk. But I definitely would probably go Connor myself. And chat, would you go Connor or Ty Chandler? Connor or Ty Chandler, please drop that for our boy. Thank you, Hav G. Thank you, Red. Thank you for those $20 haulers. Thank you, Russian Collusion with the $100 wad. Thank you, Aiden, for the $20 hauler. Thank you, Brady, for the $49 hauler. Russian Collusion, you're the man. Thank you, Perps, for all the 20s and the super chats and the support and just being an amazing guy. Perps to the moon. Little Nicky with even the $1.99 hauler. Alex with the $2 hauler. James with the $2 hauler. Appreciate you all. Yusuf with the $5 hauler. Alex, thank you again. TM42, appreciate your super chat. Joey Ford, Miles, Anthony, appreciate you, Anthony. Rise Above, appreciate you. XX60, appreciate you. Mark H, appreciate your super chat. Paul S, appreciate you. Perps again. Mark H again. Anthony again. Oscar is $10 hauler. Call your boy, appreciate you. Thank you for the gifted memberships as well to all you that dropped that. Lance, appreciate you. Lewis and Cheese again, and Thomas and Paul, and again Rick Moore with the $20 hauler. Thomas with that 5. T Brady again, you monster with that 50. Quinn, Cody, Ray G, Aiden again, appreciate you, Aiden. Father of 3 with the $5 hauler. Max with the $5 hauler, and Hob G, I said earlier. Mac, Kendall, I think I got everybody. Nick Davis, Cod, DeBalt dropping a final wad on screen. DeBalt says, are we having a pregame stream tomorrow? I don't know. We'll find out tomorrow. I believe we'll do something. It's tough to say. Tomorrow's going to be tough. I'm doing, Raj and I are going to Luma and Audis. We might do something there on IG. So you're going to see me doing all kinds of stuff tomorrow on IG. But we'll find out. I'll have to see. Probably a pregame, I would imagine. DeBalt, appreciate you. Thank you all for super chatting. Thank you all for being here. I will see you all potentially tonight for a draft stream. Underdog Fantasy, if you want to prepare for a draft tonight, if we do go, I can't promise it, but I do think we will try to at least do 1 or 2, 3 drafts. Hit this link that I'm dropping in the live chat right now. It's in the link is in the description of every video, including this one, especially if you're watching the replay of this show. Check the description. Check the description of any video if you're later on wanting this link. But they'll double your first deposit over at Underdog by hitting the link in the live chat or in the description or using code Smitty. But prepare. You got to sign up now or you're not going to get into the draft tonight. But we're drafting tonight for Week 15 drafts. I'll see you all potentially tonight.